You know, this is a pretty tough sport, and everybody's out there to win.
Well, Laguta was, as I mentioned, 1 point in front of Madsen going into tonight's meeting, but that will obviously extend. So the real gap we're looking at is the chasing pack behind. Bartosz Schmektala and Nicky Pedersen 8 points behind Laguta. Nicky Pedersen also 9 points behind Laguta. They're the ones that have really got to try and catch up tonight.
Yeah, I believe everybody still believes they have a chance of doing it. All we got to do is watch and make sure to see what Laguta does on this track. If he's in good form and he goes around this 300-meter racetrack, which a heck of a lot of the Danes have a lot of experience, more than a lot of the other riders, you know, who knows what Laguta can do. If he makes a slip up, whatever happens, the other guys will be looking forward to getting closer.
And Peter Kilderman, the wild card, has gone well here in Grand Prix and in World Cups in the past. We've seen wild cards do well here in this series before. Could happen again tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned at the top of your entry there about the changing weather. You can see the wind blowing right there with the riders and the flags and stuff. We've had severe kind of changing weather throughout the day. It's nice out right now at the minute. The wind's up, but we've had some heavy showers at times, but they seem to come and then go, and then the track looks all right. So Peter Kilderman could be a big threat. His style of going into the corners and the way he bends his bike into the deep end, if this track suits him, he's going to be a force.
You mentioned the weather. I think we've had about 17 seasons in one day today. At the moment the sun is out. We may get some rain. If we do, it'll be heavy, but it tends to only last for about 2 minutes. Yeah, it's crazy.
The track is superb conditions too. I mean, I went out there and looked. Jakob Olsen that's taken over the rems here at Voyen Speedway. He's really trying to make a difference, and they put a lot of material on the track and they packed it in quite well, and he actually was so proud of it that he took me out there to show me what was going on, and it looks superb.
Yeah, you have your history back here in Voyens. You've raced in massive meetings in the past, World Finals, etc. And it's almost like a throwback, isn't it, to come back here and see Big Speedway back here.
It's amazing. So many familiar faces as well. I mean, there's a lounge that they've set up there, the Ole Olsen Lounge, and I was pulled off of my little trail when I was coming up to get to the commentary booth with you earlier on to go and sign some photographs. They have a whole wall of world champions. It's really impressive, and just so many people I'm bumping into. So it's so nice.
There's the standings then. Laguta 1 point in front of the absent Madsen, with Nicky Pedersen, Bartosz Schmektala, Kasper Riener all trying to catch up in Voyens. So Voyens in Denmark, the staging post for round 3 of 4 in the Speedway Euro Championship 2019. The finale in Horshov comes on the 28th of September, and it's 5 years since this series last visited Denmark. That was at Holsted back in 2014. Similar day, in fact. They had heavy rain that day, got the meeting on later on in the afternoon, and that was the meeting that wrecked Nicky Pedersen's title bid that season. He had an absolute shocker. Today, well, rain, sun, wind, you name it, we've had it, but the sun is shining as the riders are pushed off for heat number 1 here in Voyens, and the lineup in front of a good crowd here tonight, which is great to see. They've got big meetings here. They've got a Grand Prix here in a month or so's time as well. There is Jarek Hampel in the red helmet colour. Kai Hülkenberg will go in blue. Peter Kilderman, the meeting wild card, will go in white, and the series leader Grigori Laguta goes in yellow. Quick reminder of the format: 20 races where the points are normal, 3-2-1-0. Top 2 straight through to the grand final. The next 4 into the last chance. Top 2 from that into the final. Points from the last chance don't count to the series. Points from the final do. Sam, who's your money on tonight?
Well, I did already say a couple of weeks ago that if Peter Kilderman gets on this racetrack and the conditions meet his ability, then he could be a threat. So I'm going to stick with my guns on that one. But there's so many riders out there that all want the same success on this track. I was talking to Hans when I was walking through the current Danish team manager, and obviously a big rival in my time. You know, we both kind of were sitting there, and as the rain had just left, saying Voyens wouldn't be the same without the rain. So these riders are used to this thing, and I'm really impressed to see the crowd was here. I think when me and you both pulled in, we weren't sure we were on the right road, were we? There was nobody here.
We weren't on the right road.
Yeah, and we turned the corner, and bang, there was all the crowd getting into this place. It was great to see him.
There was a big downpour about 1 hour ago. It's all cleared up from that, and the sun is shining. Blue skies, heat 1, Jarek Hampel, Kai Hülkenberg, Peter Kilderman, and Grigori Laguta. Kilderman, of course, was part of this series for several years. He was a former number 2 in this series back in 2014. He really fought all the way to the end that year, and he'll be looking to make a big impact in the white helmet colour in Heat 1 as he tries to get himself a win as a wild card. The referee, by the way, is Artur Kuzmirec. He is just in the next door box from us, so we'll be careful what we say, Sam, and let's hope he has a good night. The challenge has been to get the tapes actually...
the wind.
Because of the wind, yeah.
Yeah, the wind's so up there, so the tapes are being pushed around by the wind, but they have their little bar behind behind it that's just keeping it steady as they approach getting on here. Laguda will want to make a really good start from that outside gate, and it's possible here at Voyens. Depends on what the track will give them.
Here we go for Heat 1 then of the third round of the Speedway Euro Championship in Voyens. A bit of edging from Hülkenberg, but he actually hampered himself, so the race goes on. It's a good start from the inside by Jörg Hampel. Down on the first bend goes Peter Kilderman. Into him goes Kai Hülkenberg, trying to avoid him. Did just about, but it's the rider in white, Kilderman. The wildcard has gone down for no apparent reason on turn 1. And whilst Hülkenberg was moving at the start, that hampered himself, so the race continued. And it's Hülkenberg who the medical staff are rushing towards, because Kilderman is on his way back to the pit. So not a great start there in Heat 1.
No, it was a little bit messy. The riders are keen. I was surprised, unless the referee already had it in his will to be able to turn the red line on once they got through the first corner. But while they got into the first corner, there was a bit of an incident, and I think it was Peter Kilderman, as we both seen, as everybody's seen, he just spun it out a little bit coming in the corner.
Well, let's have a look. Hampel in red makes a good one, but it's the rider in white here.
Yeah, Peter Kilderman cuts back to the inside to get underneath him. And you know what? I know what's happened there. It's happened to me before. This track has got a bit of a concrete edging on the inside. And the front wheel of Peter Kilderman hit that edging, and it's wet, and the tire just slipped and it offset him. That's happened to me in the past. We just watch the white helmet color. We can see in the red there, Jörg Hampel makes a brilliant start from the inside, and as Peter Kilderman in the white turns in, his front wheel just hits the glassy part of the track right there on the inside curb, and the bike just spins sideways a little bit, and that put him down just like that.
In fact, Hülkenberg did well to avoid him. He went down himself, and Hülkenberg is still receiving some attention. I think he's sat up at the fence, but you just see the situation here. There's Kilderman spinning out, and Hülkenberg just manages to get around him.
It's a dangerous part of having any kind of a concrete or a brick, as this one is, as the inside pole position, or pole, you're not supposed to go over it really, but your front wheel is allowed to go on.
They do, don't they? When
yeah. And if you come in and lean on it, and it's going to be a lot slipperier than the aggregate that they're riding on, and that little bit difference right there unsettled Peter Kilderman, and down he went.
So Hülkenberg is walking in, that's good to see. Kilderman is the rider excluded, no surprise there. He did go down on the first bend by himself. The bike of Kai Hülkenberg is currently being helped in. That's taken a bit of damage too, so I'm not sure he'll be riding that again in the rerun. Let's hope he can ride in the rerun. Still got the medical staff around him at this stage, and clearly not 100% comfortable, because he's going back for some more attention down here. So whatever it was, he didn't appear to hit the fence that hard, but when he went in with his bike, I guess that may have done some damage.
Yeah, well, he's got all the mud on him, so he was definitely sliding on the ground, and who knows what it is, but it's good to see him walking away.
Very much so. So the German Kai Hülkenberg with 13 points in the series so far, picked up 9 in did well in Gustro with 9, so yeah, he will be hoping to get his bike turned around and continue. But Peter Kilderman, bad start for him on 90. He really wants to impress.
Still got some time, but if anybody's going to slow down Laguda, it would have been, I've already called it at the top there, that Peter Kilderman would have been a good candidate for that. Good to see Hülkenberg getting back to the pits, holding his wrist. He's got something wrapped around it. It's probably a nice pack. Here's another view of the start. On the inside, Jörg Hampel makes a start pretty convincingly. And then Peter Kilderman turns in, unsettles himself with his front wheel touching what I believe is the slipperier part of the track whenever they've had a lot of rain. So all that curbside is just like slippery. Well, you can imagine what it'd be like. It's like ice. And straight away, his front wheel unsettled him, and down he went. And hooking back in blue, Kai was trying to avoid it all, and he was pretty much last going into the corner, and he just avoided the carnage and went down, pretty much awkwardly, I would say, as he picked up right there, trying to get away from it all, and slid into the fence. So somehow or another, he injured himself.
Yeah, I think going in with the bike is the issue there. You can see he does well to switch outside and just make sure he makes it round, but then he goes and he just moves out of camera shot there. So hopefully there won't be any lasting damage, and the referee can get us underway very shortly. It'd be interesting to see actually if Hülkenberg gets a warning, which in a way will be a bit harsh after what happened on the first bend, but of course he was moving at the start, and the referee must have decided to carry on with the race because he left it top of the back. But quite often in the past we've seen riders still get a warning for that, so that could yet happen. But first and foremost, he needs to, hopefully he's going to be fit to carry on. He's a rider we've seen on several occasions have some really good rides, especially around Goustro, but not just around Goustro, and you're just waiting for him to really put it all together on one night.
Yeah, his ability to get out of the starts has been exceptional. That start wasn't very good, but if he was moving around a bit, that probably cost him. But put him on par with anybody, and he's quite a good gator. It's just finishing the job sometimes, and with changing conditions of tracks or new tracks or tracks he's not so used to, could be a bit difficult for him. And this guy right here has got it all to lose if he doesn't have a good performance here this evening.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? He's now a Laguta absolute red-hot favourite to win the series. He's got, if you take out Madsen from tonight, you assume Madsen will be back in time for the final round, but the damage could well be done tonight. Laguta has an 8-point lead over Smektala and Pedersen and 9 over Verina. That's a huge margin at this stage. If he extends that still further, then he could virtually be a coronation in Horzov within a couple of races. So the challenge is on him to not do anything daft tonight, just accumulate points, and the rest to try and close in.
Well, you know, maturity comes with your age. You know, I think he's like this third or fourth. Let me look at my list here. He's 35 years old, and the oldest rider is Nicky Pedersen at 42. And then you got Jere Campbell on 37. So, and Antonio Lindback's right behind him on 34. So, you know, that experience definitely gives him the ability to kind of pull it together when really under pressure.
If you're just joining us here in Voyant, well, we've got blue skies all round, which has not been seen really all day. There you go, as we get ready for a restart of Heat 1. It's the third round of the Speedway Euro Championship, and we saw a crash on the first bend of Heat 1 with Peter Kilderman going down and Kai Hülkenberg avoiding him. Also hit the fence on the second bend. Well, the referee has now put the 2-minute clock on for the restart of Heat 1. So no Peter Kilderman has been excluded, and it will be Jere Campbell, Kai Hülkenberg and Gregory Laguta. That man there in yellow, the series leader, 1 point in front as far as the standings go, but with Leon Madsen, the man he's 1 point in front of, not here tonight, then it's a case of extending whatever he can as they head to the fourth round at the end of September.
Yeah, all these riders that were, I didn't get a list of who actually participated, but they had some practice earlier on, and again, avoided the rain showers. It was actually as soon as the track was relayed for the meeting tonight, the rain came, and Jakob Molson confirmed to me that he thinks that was a perfect combination. But we did have a short shower, you know.
About 5 o'clock, yeah,
that's
out before the meeting.
Yeah, and these bikes, you know, these guys are all running at the FIM World Championships kind of standards. There's 77 kilos they have to weigh in on, and they have a bit of a scrutineering going on here where all the bikes have been weighed in and stuff, and I think Ty Wiffenden mentioned the fact that he thinks it would be a little bit more fairer if the rider and the bike came in as a total weight, and I believe that's a really good suggestion. We've said it in the past, in my time as well. These guys are getting down to 40 seconds right now, so he's got to get out there.
Yeah, Hülkenberg making his way, so he should make it, but he needs to be at the start line in time, and he's down to 35 seconds. I should also say, well done to the organisers for predicting the rain of last night, which was forecast. This track was covered completely overnight, so the rain, which did pass through heavy, not just showers, heavy rain last night, that did no damage at all when we've been have good conditions today now. So,
yeah, so
track covering made it great.
They had actually
bespoke track covers designed for this track and did the job.
I think that was one of Ole Olsen's kind of ideas way back when, and he put his money where his mouth was and actually made it happen here at this Voyant Speedway venue.
Yeah, could have been an even more awkward day had that not been the case, but here we go with the rerun of Heat 1. Let's hope we can get them away this time with Jere Campbell on the inside, Kai Hülkenberg on gate 2, and Gregory Laguta on the outside in yellow. They get away, and again Jere Campbell off the inside makes a good one. Also a good one by Kai Hülkenberg. Laguta in yellow turns back inside, Hülkenberg off bend 2, and now begins to gain ground straight away on Jere Campbell. Campbell leads then from Laguta in second place, Hülkenberg in third, and Jere Campbell, who's started off meeting quite well this season. He's been winning races, but then he seems to fall apart halfway through. Gregory Laguta trying the inside run here on Hampel.
Yeah, he had lots of speed down the back straightaway. Yeah, he's almost got to shut the thing down. Perfect laps there for Jere Campbell out in front from that inside gate. But Laguta has his own mission. He actually cut back, and he's cleanly going to pass now Hampel down the back straightaway of this lap.
Well, I'm not quite sure what Jere Campbell was doing there, because he left the door wide open. The warning had come a lap before when he just about managed to hold him off. Laguta was clearly going to go for the inside. For an experienced rider of such as Jere Campbell, that was a very surprising move there on the second bend. He's almost opened the door for Laguta. Laguta, the series leader, has said thanks very much, come through on the inside, and he will win the opening race. Laguta over Hampel with Hülkenberg in third. as I say, lap 2 he got almost alongside and got chopped off into the third bend and got a bit tight. So next time round, Jarek Hampel went mid-track off turn 2, and Laguta said, well, I'll do the same thing again this time, I'll come through. So perfect job by Laguta.
I think Gregory Laguta, that thing is working really well, and he knows it's oozing with confidence on the bike.
Laguta winning heat 1 then, perfect start for him. Jarek Hampel in second place. Kai Hülkenberg, who came down in the first running, he was third.
Finally, we get heat number 1 underway here after the restart with Peter Kilderman getting excluded from going down in the first corner. But on that outside, Gregory Laguta cuts back straight away, and it was Jarek Hampel that made a superb start from that inside gate and had plenty of speed, but straight away, Laguta was actually catching him down that back straightaway, and then it did take him long to set up Hampel to get in there. He makes a little bit of a mistake right there, Laguta does. That was in the first lap going into turn 3. He gets it back together, but that bike is working really good. He just hugs the inside all the way around this Voyens 300-meter racetrack and just comes past the pole quite easily as he settles down. Not in that time, but he finished off in 3 points, and that's gestures to his Polish rider there, getting just letting him pass quite easy.
Laguta on his way back to the pit says, drama at the start line prior to heat 2. Nicky Pedersen is accompanied by 3 mechanics at the start line. Hopefully you'll see it shortly. He's digging away at the start line, preparing his grid. He's got 3 mechanics by his bike, making last-minute changes. This is extraordinary.
Well, they're keeping the bike running. That's what they're doing. So one mechanic's got the throttle. I don't know. They still got 1 minute, so I guess he can do whatever he wants to do. Heck, somebody's actually.
There's actually an official with him now, so I'm not sure that you should have that many mechanics that near the start line, to be honest. But anyway.
Well, his whole team was out there, so this means business. Nicky Pedersen's back. He's on the inside. He's going to rip Voyens racetrack up. Let's see what happens.
Nicky Pedersen made a Grand Prix final here way back in the year 2000. That's how long he's been going for. Pedersen will be off the inside gate here in race number 2, a rider who needs to catch up on Laguta. Michael Jepsen-Jensen goes in blue off gate 2. Václav Milik, who himself had a big crash a couple of weeks ago, but is okay in white off gate 3. And you just saw Antonio Limbach in yellow off the outside. What a nightmare he had in round 2, and inexplicably, really. So can he hit back tonight?
We hope that Antonio Limbach is in his winning form here in this race number 2. Let me remind you that Michael Jepsen-Jensen, he is the track record holder, and so I mean he's been the fastest guy around here, so he's got to get over the top of Nicky Pedersen's coming out the inside.
Yeah, 2 days off the inside. Milik moved, but the race will continue, and Pedersen gets to the first bend in front. Jepsen-Jensen in second place. Milik now trying to turn back in white, trying to move inside Jepsen-Jensen. He's done so. Limbach might try and come through as well. Nicky Pedersen has stretched well clear on the opening lap, and the scrap on for second is Václav Milik, and Michael Jepsen-Jensen get very close indeed. Jepsen-Jensen tries to drop it back over Milik, who takes him wide off bend 2. Jepsen-Jensen will try and hit back, but Nicky Pedersen does mean business here.
Oh man, he's got a lot of speed as well, so he's one of the guys that is going to probably take that right to the end of this event. He's out in front looking comfortable.
Huge scrap on for second as now Milik overslides on turn 2, and Jepsen-Jensen makes it back through on the inside to a Danish 1-2 here. Once again, Antonio Limbach left trailing out the back, but Nicky Pedersen leads onto his final lap. The former series champion won it 3 years ago in dramatic circumstances. He leads from Jepsen-Jensen. It's Milik in third, and Limbach has been dropped off at the back, but it was a fantastic first lap to dominate the race from Nicky Pedersen, winning heat number 2 ahead of the scrap for second place. Jepsen-Jensen in the end repassing Václav Milik for that second spot, and 2 points that goes with it. So Milik in third, and Antonio Limbach failing to score and away at the back by some distance. But that's the perfect start for Nicky Pedersen, who was short on race wins early in the series, but gets a good big one there in heat 2. Second place Michael Jepsen-Jensen, and third Václav Milik.
Yeah, so far we're seeing the inside gate get out in front from the word go. Nicky Pedersen in red makes a decent start over MJ Jensen, which is trying to get in there. As I mentioned, he is the track holder, goes a little bit too wide, leaves the door wide open there for Milik to come underneath him, and Antonio Limbach just got left behind and really didn't get no rhythm all the way through the 4 laps and trailed right to the back there. But it was all about Nicky Pedersen from the start to get in there, with MJ Jensen doing a great job getting Milik lined up, and it took him a couple of laps, but he finally got underneath him and passed him.
Yeah, good scrap there for second place, and that's the mistake by Milik off turn 2 as Jepsen-Jensen came through for the 2 points. So Gregory Laguta and Nicky Pedersen, the opening 2 race winners here in Voyens. We're seeing Bartosz Schmechtaler on track in heat 3. Heat 3 in Voyens features 3 riders who are making their first appearance of the season in the series after the carnage of Torun and the associated injuries. We have Andrzej Lebedev's there in red, the 2017 series champion. Of course, he had a tough year last year. Timo Lahti goes in blue. Andrei Kudryashov, who's been a regular in the series for the last 2 years, but not this year, he's in white. And Bartosz Smektala, who has 19 points from his first 2 meetings in the Speedway Euro Championship, finished 3rd in Gustro. He's off the outside in yellow. So hard to predict this one. We've got three riders here we've not seen so far in this series this year, Sam.
Yeah, and Andrei Lebedev's on the inside. Super nice guy. I really like having a chat with him. He's always smiling, always in good spirits. But Bartosz Smektala from that outside, I mean, this guy with 19 points sitting right there, he could be a spoiler. He's going to get on the outside. Now then, this track's been ridden on already, 2 times, so there's a little bit of a cushion through that first corner. So Lebedev has got to make a decent start, but beware that outside line could be working a little bit.
Lebedev's Lahti, Kudryashov and Smektala is the lineup for Heat 3. Perfect start, and away they go with Lahti in blue's made a good one, gets above Lebedev. Smektala will try the big rod around the outside, goes from 4th to 3rd, might get 2nd as well. Bartosz Smektala going round, Lebedev's into bend 3, good ride there by the pole. He moves through into 2nd place, but Timo Lahti, the Finn, is out in front. Smektala in 2nd, Lebedev's 3rd, Kudryashov at the back. Nice start there by Timo Lahti, but Smektala chasing hard.
Yeah, spoiled my prediction right there. Lahti gets himself right out in front, made a decent start, and is pulling away, but there's leaving a hint of Smektala is getting a little bit of drive on that inside, getting chased down by Lebedev's on the inside as well.
Yeah, Lebedev's scrapping hard in the 3rd. So he really had a terrible year last year. Was he trying to defend the championship, then didn't make it through into this year's series, but trying to impress tonight as he looks to make a move around the outside. Here, Lebedev's will always give it a go as well. He's trying to get round Smektala, who's defensive on turns 1 and 2. It's Lahti well clear. The rider in red, Lebedev, trying to get back round Bartosz Smektala on the final lap. It's definitely going to be a win for Timo Lahti, but the scrap is on for 2nd place. Lebedev is going round Smektala and right to the line. Maybe Smektala just held on. We'll have to watch it again. That was
close.
very tight.
Very tight.
Lebedev's giving it his all there.
Yeah, I would almost say from our view, I look like Lebedev's might have just got that one right there over Smektala. I tell you what, that corner, I forgot about that. 3 and 4, that's times when I battled here, and you could go really wide, and if there's a cushion out there by the pit gate, it does drive you across that finish line quite quick. So that's a good one to point out later on if guys start searching for it.
Well, we will see. We're yet to get any confirmation. The referee, I can see, is actually requesting to see. Here we go. So Lebedev's in red on the outside and Smektala in yellow.
Yeah, but Lebedev goes up there and just turns the bike right in that cushion, and it drives. It's a little bit late of a drive, but it looks so close. From here, from my view, it looked right. And from that one, it looks like it might convincing that the referee might be making a decision in Lebedev's favor.
Red got the 2nd place.
Okay.
Lebedev gets the 2nd. Lebedev gets the 2nd over Smektala, who didn't quite hold on. So, yeah, good stuff there. Good action. And
well, we got to remember, he did beat him because so Lebedev did get the 2nd place, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yes. Lebedev gets the 2nd over Smektala. So, yeah, great stuff there. Good scrap. And Timo Lahti well away from out front. So here's the confirmation. Lahti gets the win. Lebedev snatches 2nd from Smektala on the line with a good move around the outside. Andrei Kudryashov left up the back. But some good racing there in heat number 3. And Lebedev's passing Smektala and taking a key point off Smektala in the fight for series honours this season.
Sure.
But that man, Timo Lahti, who's making his first appearance, very good there.
Yeah, cleanly, he made it from gate 2 convincingly over the rest of the other riders in that heat number 3. Got himself on, clocked out, daylight all the way to the end. Very good ride from him.
So 3 heats done. We move on to heat 4 now. Let's explain that with the absence of Leon Madsen and the fact that he pulled out today, that man in blue, Fredrik Jakobsen, who was a meeting reserve, he will now take all 5 of Leon Madsen's rides here this evening as Kasper Verina changes bikes down by the start line. Fredrik Jakobsen, as I say, a meeting reserve, but now effectively promoted in, although he's wearing the number 17 race jacket. He can qualify if he scores enough points. Those points will count towards the final or the last chance or whatever. So he can get the chance to move on in the meeting. It's Szepelski in red off the inside. It's Jakobsen in blue. It's Mikkelsen in white, and it's Verina in yellow.
Yeah, you'd almost want to put your money on Szapelski on that inside, but Verana from that outside might make a good one as well.
Well, Verina's been impressive.
Oh,
There's been more movement at the start, and Pavel Szapelski was moving, Freddie Jakobsen was moving, and the tapes this time have been demolished. We've seen a few messy starts so far. That's the worst of them all. The tapes are strewn all over the start-finish straight, and the referee will be wanting to check it again. I think they might have on the inside. Szapelski was the first to go, but there were a couple that were at it.
I will hold my comment. They just all went. It looked like they were just sitting there for a second. There was a little bit of movement, and at the same time, I looked up, everybody was going.
Well, it wasn't a good start, but let's see who the culprit was.
See the wind's moving the tape, so the riders just got that insecurity of something going on.
Well, red and yellow are both going, aren't they?
Yeah, yellow went just before.
Was it?
Yellow and red
could put red and yellow, couldn't you? They're both simultaneously.
Wow, what's the referee going to make of that? Everybody's got their head down. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I think the referee was the one that was slow. He should have pushed the button earlier. They all went at the same time.
Well, we're just awaiting confirmation. I think he wants to see it again. Yeah, he wants to see it again here. You're looking at red and yellow, and did they both touch the tapes at the same time?
Wow.
We could do without that because we've only got one reserve here.
Yeah.
But,
they both ran into the tapes. They both did.
Well, this will be an interesting call to make. I think we're about to find out. The red light's coming on for Szapelski. It's red. Right, it's red's excluded as a warning for yellow Verina. So Verina has got away with one there, I think, because they were both at it. That's for sure.
Szapelski, you let me down.
He was your man there.
That one.
He was actually involved in the tangle with Leon Manson. I say tangle, it was a crash, not a tangle, but yeah, in Chesterhover last night it was Manson hooking up with his teammate that sent them both down. But he's clearly perfectly okay, but unfortunately for him, unable to ride in heat number 4 due to being excluded for breaking the tapes. So we will see the reserve, which is Andreas Leaga, coming in to replace him. As I mentioned, only one reserve because of Fredrik Jakobsen taking Leon Manson's ride. That's frustration for Szapelski, who we know can ride nicely on his night. Scored 8 points in Torun, which wasn't a bad effort, especially unlucky to be nailed by Adrian Midzinski towards the end when he looked like he might make it through to the last 6.
Sideswiped.
Probably, yes. So I think you mentioned, Sam, he's been a bit unfortunate. People have been hitting him from all angles recently.
Yeah.
And,
he's really disappointed. You can tell, and who wouldn't be? You know, when you have an opportunity to get out on this track, when it looks like the inside was a good starting position, they're getting around if they hold the tight line around this Foynes circuit, you seem to go fast pretty quick. But we did see that Thierry Campbell in the first race moved off the inside line, which left some doors open. So the track is giving the riders a bit of options right now. And I would say that if you had the chance of coming out in your first race, you'd want to be on that inside gate. So Szapelski would be really disappointed that he let that one get away from him.
We'll now have the two meeting reserves on the inside 2 gates, with Andreas Leaga coming in to ride in red on the inside, and Fredrik Jakobsen in blue. We saw Andreas Leaga in the Under-21 series over the last couple of years, also well known to fans of Scunthorpe back in the UK for his time with them, and it'll be interesting to see how he copes in this in this kind of competition. As the only reserve, he might get a couple of chances tonight, depending on how many exclusions we have. But he will ride in red here in heat 4, with Jakobsen there going in blue, the replacement for the evening for Leon Madsen. Mikkel Mikkelsen rides in white, 3 Danes on gates 1, 2 and 3, and Casper Verina, who has been warned, as we mentioned there, for movement at the start, he will go in yellow and can't afford to be repeating that a second time.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I didn't get a chance to ask the question to Jakob Olsen. Have they been able to use this track at all for any of their Danish practices? Because these young guys, I'm sure, would love to be around this track because it's such a good shape and easy to ride for testing and getting some laps under your belt. But I know for next year they're going to get in. They're going to enroll into the Super League here in Denmark, and there's going to be a lot of racing around here.
Good news, and certainly the crowd here tonight would indicate that the market for it is very much here. So here we go with the rerun of heat number 4. And And again there's a bit of movement, this time from Fredrik Jakobsen. The race has continued, and Jakobsen in fact has made the start. So Jakobsen at race leads. The scrap is on with Verena going high and wide on the turn 2, but not really getting too far. And now Mikkel Mikkelsen tries to send one down the inside, whilst Liaga battles around the outside, gets out of shape off the fourth bend. It's still Jakobsen out in front of Mikkelsen. Liaga in third with Verena trying to catch up round the back, but now Mikkelsen finds that sweet move there on the inside, and he gets to the front.
Well, I rest my case. I think the Danes know how to get around this Voyant track pretty well. Right there out in front here, and Mikkelsen just really lined this guy up and just going for it.
Well, Fredrik Jakobsen trying to hit back on the outside, but they're certainly moving away from Casper Verena here, no question about that. Mikkel Mikkelsen leading from Fredrik Jakobsen. Liaga is running a third after a rather eventful first lap, so they appear to have settled down for now. And Mikkel Mikkelsen, who's really trying to get his series going, he's had such a good year last year, not quite worked out for him so far in 2019, but a good night tonight could see him really climb the standings. And Mikkel Mikkelsen will win heat number 4 ahead of Freddie Jakobsen, with Andreas Liaga in third place and Casper Verena there at the back. So no points for Verena, who is one of those riders who's trying to catch up on Laguta, and in fact he's lost 3 points across the first 4 heats here in Voyants tonight, so not the result that Verena wanted from the opener. But certainly Mikkel Mikkelsen there with a good ride to win heat 4, passing Fredrik Jakobsen. Andreas Liaga in third place, leaving Verena at the back.
Yeah, very good race there. Jakobsen makes a start, no doubt about that one, replacing Leon Madsen out of gate number 2. Makes a clean start right there, gets one over Liaga, which was on the inside quite easily. On the outside, Verena goes for a big one, swooping around the outside, but couldn't make that stick. But it was all about Mikkelsen in white that actually made a nice first corner and got a lot of drive to keep up with the Dane that was in front. Actually, there's 3 Danes in this one, so which one would you say? But the big cut, the big cutback right there for Mikkelsen, which puts him in a good position to go down that back straight and put the pressure on Jakobsen, which was a good job getting out in front, but didn't last long.
Yeah, move on the inside to take Mikkelsen through. We've actually had now 1 win from all of the 4 gate positions, although obviously not all from the start, because that's an overtaking move, just as we saw from Laguta in the open-up.
Yeah, well, Mikkelsen really punched the air after that race. It means a lot to him for him to win that one right there. He's got a lot of speed and enjoying his racing. That doing that little Willie over the finish line was showing that he's content to go out there and do it, man. Really good job.
He has the chance to close in, no question about that. But the 4 winners here so far in Voyants: Laguta, Pedersen, Latti and Mikkelsen.
Das heißt, Jakob, das heißt auf Deutsch, recht schönen Dank, dass ihr alle hier seid aus Deutschland. Danke schön. Also, guten Abend. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for coming. You know, it's a big pleasure and an honor.
A teraz zatrzymaj się i poczuj świeży dotyk natury. Podpaski Naturella Ultra pomagają utrzymać wilgoć z dala od skóry, pozwalając jej swobodnie oddychać. Poczuj się świeżo z Naturellą. Wypróbuj także wariant na noc dla skutecznej ochrony podczas snu.
Dopóki serce dla drużyny bije nie tylko na trybunach, szczęśliwe koszulki mają moc wygrywania.
Rozpoczęło się finałowe spotkanie tego sezonu.
Nigdy nie odpuszczacie. Wspieracie jeden klub przez całe życie. Nieważne, czy gra o puchar, czy o honor. Wierzycie do ostatniej minuty. Dlatego wspieramy dla Was polski sport. STS. Wspieramy polski sport.
To nonsens, że limit danych tak szybko się wyczerpuje. Kup starter T-Mobile i swobodnie korzystaj z serwisów wideo. Netflix, YouTube, Player i wielu innych. Bez obawy, że stracisz gigabajty. W T-Mobile na kartę wideo bez limitu danych.
Chcesz spędzić urlop albo weekend w wyjątkowym miejscu? Znajdź odpowiedni hotel na portalu triverna.pl z rabatem nawet do 70%. Sprawdzaj okazję na triverna.pl.
Kraków Live Festival. Post Malone, Calvin Harris, Macklemore, DJ Snake, Years and Years, Banks i wielu innych. 2 niesamowite dni pełne festiwalowych emocji. 16-17 sierpnia. Kraków Live Festival.
Niech twoje lato dostanie mocy. Wakacyjna oferta Suzuki na Vitarę także z napędem na 4 koła All Grip. Taka cena zdarza się tylko latem.
Kolekcja Czarny Kryminał to seria książek, o której nie zapomnisz. Brudny świat zbrodni i trzymająca w napięciu fabuła. Tylko teraz w kolekcjonerskim wydaniu w twardej oprawie. Tom 1, Mok Pojedynek. Już w kioskach. Polecam. Marek Krajewski.
Dlaczego Scopolan Compositum zwalcza nawet bardzo silny ból brzucha i skurcze? Ponieważ zawiera nie jedną, lecz 2 silne substancje aktywne. I kiedy jedna usuwa ból, to druga likwiduje skurcze. Gdy inne środki nie dają rady, wybierz Scopolan Compositum. Lek o zarejestrowanym działaniu na silny ból i skurcze. Przed użyciem zapoznaj się z treścią ulotki dołączonej do opakowania, bądź skonsultuj się z lekarzem lub farmaceutą, gdyż każdy lek niewłaściwie stosowany zagraża twojemu życiu lub zdrowiu. Scopolan Compositum. Podwójna siła na silny ból brzucha. Teraz bez recepty.
Altså musikken Carsten spiller over i øjeblikket, det giver jo sådan en vis følelse af, at nu skal der altså ske et eller andet. Og det skal der, for vi skal i gang med hit nummer 5. Og kære venner, vi har en dansker i hit nummer 5. Om et lille øjeblik, der skal vi endnu en gang sige rigtig hjertelig velkommen. Brug valen hernede i middelfarve, Nicky Pedersen. Udover Nicky Pedersen i den hvide hjemmefarve, så har vi jo selvfølgelig også fra Polen, Jaroslav Hambad. Vi har fra det russiske Andrei Kudiashov, og så er det med den røde hjemmefarve fra Polen, Kasper Vorina. Coming up, heat number 5 in blue, Jarek Campbell from Poland. Nicky Pedersen in white from...
Starting with the wild card tonight, Peter Kilderman is our first guest. Peter, before we speak about tonight, I gotta go back to the SEC challenge in Nogi Halash. That it started well to you, but then it turned into a very bad course of events, ended up with a terrible crash. But this wild card tonight might be a little consolation to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really happy to have the chance to race and Voyens. I get the wild card for the Danish round. I'm really proud of that, and yeah, hopefully I can do something.
Maybe not the luckiest beginning for you tonight. What exactly happened in the first corner?
No, yeah, you know, I didn't make the worst start from gate 3, and I pick up some unexpected speed, and I come close to Yardik, and I need to take the bike back, and I was spun around. So yeah, but that's what happened.
But still 4 hits to go, and Voyens used to be very lucky to you. Back in 2014, you came in second in the GP round, then in 2015, excellent performance in the World Cup. So there is something special here for you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, normally I do pretty well around here, so yeah, I'm happy to be back here.
It's been a few years till Speedway got back to Voyens. What can you tell about all the changes around here? Because it's massive improvement.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks amazing. You know, they put a big performance in to make the stadium and all the facility around it that nice. So yeah, I'm really proud to be Danish to race here tonight.
We gotta go. Thank you very much. Good luck in the upcoming hits.
Thank you very much.
Good to see Peter Kilderman back in the series tonight as wildcard. Hopefully he'll have a better second ride after coming to grief on the first bend of his opener. Heat 5, there's been some track grading and track watering despite the rain we've had today. Kasper Vorina off the inside, Jarek Campbell gate 2, Nicky Pedersen gate 3, Andrei Kudryashov gate 4. Round 3 of the Speedway Euro Championship in Voyens, and Nicky Pedersen was impressive first time out.
He sure was impressive, and I'm sure he's already spooked Hampel. Hampel's such a great rider, but sometimes we don't know if he can actually seal the deal. He's a little bit cautious. I mean, he's had some injuries in the past, but you're right about Nicky. I think he's focused for this one. He must feel really super positive after his first appearance.
Hampel's record round here in Grand Prix was not very impressive back in the day, 2010 to 12, so not got a great record round here. Rider in blue, heat number 5 gets underway, and Vorina gets a good start in red, and Pedersen gets squeezed out, tries to turn back and gets back inside Hampel off the second turn. Hampel in third over Andrei Kudryashov, but Kasper Kasper Verina out in front, looking certainly a change right there compared to his first ride when he was in all kinds of trouble throughout in a drift to the back. But this time he's got the advantage from the inside gate. He's heading Nicky Pedersen with Jarek Hampel in third over Kudryashov. Much better here from Kasper Verina.
Yeah, I think, having that inside gate, you've already been on the track once, gives you that more confidence, and you get the bike set up right. All you got to do is really hold the race line. He's got plenty of speed. There's no doubt about that. With Nicky Pedersen, it was so dominant in his first race. Nicky's just inching up to him, so I don't know if I have enough time now.
Yeah, Pedersen getting a bit closer with 1 lap to go. Verina still has the advantage, finished third in the second round in Torun. Pedersen tries to peg the inside on turns 1 and 2. He's gaining, but not sure he's quite gaining fast enough as Kasper Verina makes it round turns 3 and 4, and he will take the flag in heat 5. Verina over Pedersen with Hampel in third place and Kudryashov out the back. So Kasper Verina, no points from his first ride, but plus 3 on the board there. Still a solid show by Nicky Pedersen from gate number 3 to pick up 2 points, and just the 1 for Jarek Hampel to enter his second place in his first ride. So the Polish youngster Kasper Verina gets the win there in heat 5. Nicky Pedersen in second place, and Jarek Hampel was third.
Yeah, being on that inside must have given him that little bit of confidence so he can actually get out of there quite easy. Jarek Hampel in blue looks like he was almost going to cover it, but just went a little bit wide, left the door open for Nicky Pedersen coming off of 3 to cut that bike back and get underneath them. Straight away, both the 2 riders in front were just pulling away. Here it is. Finally, we got a start where it wasn't messy. The beginning of round 2, after they just graded the racetrack, heat 5 gets underway quite sensibly from the start, with Verona getting out in front straight away with that 2-2-3 on his back. That 1-1-10 of Nicky Pedersen was chasing him down. The whole 4 laps he was gaining, but there just wasn't enough time for him to finish the deal, really, so he had to settle for second place.
So win for Kasper Verina in heat 5, his first points of the evening, and we move on to heat 6 with the riders already at the start line, as there we are now with Fredrik Jakobsen will ride in red, the full-time meeting reserve, you could say, replacing the injured Leon Madsen. We send Leon our best wishes, as we do to all the other regular series members who aren't here tonight, with Robert Lambert, Anders Thompson and David Balago also missing. In fact, it was to have been Jurisa Pavlic replacing Balago, but due to illness he couldn't take his place, so Kudryashov came in. We've had to go quite some way down the list of replacements tonight. So Jakobsen in red, it's Lebedevs in blue, it's Huckenbeck in white and Milik in yellow for heat 6.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this one. Who's gonna come out in front in this heat 6? Any one of these 4 guys are eligible because they're on the start line. There's no doubt about that. Huckenbeck is a really good gator. So is Milik from the outside. Lebedev's had some good speed in his first race, with 2 points gained from that one. So, but Jakobsen looked pretty solid too. So he's on that inside as everybody looks up from the pits.
Yep, Jakobsen off the inside gate here, and Anders Lebedev was quick in his first ride too. Away they go, and it's a good start there by Jakobsen from the inside, and Lebedev will try and move through on the inside of Huckenbeck, with Milik making his move around the outside, and now back on the inside. Huckenbeck in white trying to steam down the inside of Lebedev, goes right across him on the corner. That might give Milik the chance to cut back in yellow. Milik gets inside. Lebedev has found the way, completely blocked much of it. Lebedev's going back around the outside, trying to get back past Milik. They battled for a title 2 years ago, and Milik now back into third place.
Yeah, Huckenbeck gets in there, and this little battle they had for that first lap, and he comes out in second place right there. But Jakobsen's out in front from that inside gate, makes that one count for him right here. A little bit of speed right there from the German. Huckenbeck's coming on the inside of him, though. He's got some time.
Huckenbeck is now looking to move wide on turn 3 and 4. He's got a straight round. That's a fast move there by Kai Huckenbeck to get past Jakobsen. I think Lebedevs may well try and follow him through here. He's seen what's happened, and can he make it past Jakobsen too? He's going to give it a big one around the outside. Yep. He's done so. Jakobsen will try and race him into the bend. Right round the outside, Jakobsen out of shape, and it will be Huckenbeck winning, and Lebedev second, and Jakobsen third. And Václav Milik's troubled campaign continues as he rolls back round to the pits. I don't think he'll take the checkered flag either, but Kai Huckenbeck showing the way around the outside there on turn 3 and 4 in heat 6, and you just felt that Lebedevs would quickly follow him through into second as well. Good action once again in race number 6. It's a win for Kai Huckenbeck. It's second for Anders Lebedevs, and Fredrik Jakobsen was third.
Interesting. Well, the German figured out the racetrack in this heat number 6. He knows that there's some big lines out there, and he's found them from the start. Lebedev's in blue. We've just seen him right there, but it was Heckenbeck, the German, in white that was trying to get around Jakobsen, the Dane, that was enrolled into this meeting because of Leon Madsen's absence from injury, and he gets out in front quite easily and seems like he's got it under control, but it was all about the German. He started working it out that there's getting crammed up on the inside of Jakobsen. He knew that the outside line was available. Once he got out there, he started gaining some speed. Lebedev's again watched him do the same thing. So here we can see Hülkenberg getting the deal done, coming out of that turn 4. That's where that little bit of lineup by the pit gate actually works really good. As I remind myself, watching these races, I can remember doing that exact same move. It gives him there, and Lebedev's does the same thing. The Russian gets himself right around the outside and does a good job.
That must feel good, that move there to take the lead of Hülkenberg when he got the right line, he just squeezed around, and then as he did, it kind of launched him away.
Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of dirt right up there, and the way the banking is on this track, right there, it holds you. There's no camber where you'll go over the top of it if you go too wide. It just perfectly pulls you around.
Good win there for Kai Hülkenberg in heat number 6. Heat 7 of the third round of the Speedway Euro Championship as Bartosz Smektala watches on from the pits. The lineup is Timo Lahti, they're a winner first time out, and in red here in Heat 7. Pavel Szapelski goes in blue after breaking the tapes first time out. Michael Jepsen-Jensen rides in white, and that man in yellow there was Peter Kilderman, who came to grief on the first bend in his opening ride. So he needs points if he's going to make something of this meeting. Lahti, Szapelski, Jepsen-Jensen and Kilderman coming into line for this race number 7. So Marshall has them in line, checks with the referee, and we're going to get the green light, and away they go with Heat 7. And Lahti again makes a good one, this time from the inside gate. They're 3 abreast for second, third and fourth. Szapelski holds it for now over Jepsen-Jensen, with Kilderman in yellow trying to come through on the inside, gets through into third place, and now it goes wide. Peter Kilderman around the outside to try and get to Szapelski. It's Lahti in front of Szapelski. Kilderman goes wide on turns 1 and 2. The over slides really there on the bend, and back on the inside because Michael Jepsen-Jensen, big strap on here.
Wow, these guys are mixing it up right now. Peter Kilderman comes back on the inside after going really too wide in that first and second turn, but out in front is Lahti. He is really controlling this race, but they're bunching up behind him, and if he makes a mistake, they'll take it away from him.
And Michael Jepsen-Jensen's barely holding the inside to get from fourth to second. Well, now he's going for the outside run to try and get around Lahti, and Michael Jepsen-Jensen has come from last to first to get to the front. Great ride by Jepsen-Jensen, and Lahti could now be vulnerable against Szapelski, and Kilderman somehow has not got himself back into the equation. So Jepsen-Jensen's really worked his way through there. Very skillful riding indeed from Jepsen-Jensen to win it. Second place is Lahti, and Szapelski hangs on for third, so Kilderman has not scored so far tonight. Michael Jepsen-Jensen moves on to 5 points from 2 rides there, looking for his first ever final in a Speedway Euro Championship meeting, and he's certainly off to the best, or almost the best possible start here tonight in Voyens. The home crowd enjoying that move by Michael Jepsen-Jensen, really working his way through, tried the inside to get through from fourth to third to second, and then outside to get past Lahti off that move off bend 4. Great ride there by Jepsen-Jensen.
Unbelievable effort from him. The Dane really worked it. He got it going on. There was actually 2 Danes, and as we know, Peter Kilderman, what happened to you, bud? You just got pushed out in the first corner, and then you thought you can do something there, but it was Jesper Jensen that you just passed going into 3 of the first lap. Out in front was Lahti, just pulled away from the start, didn't he? He got going on there. Then Jesper Jensen really found traction on this track, went straight around the outside. We're kind of recognizing, I'm sure the riders in the pits are recognizing the same thing as we're seeing. There's a bit of a line up there, and he took advantage of it, and there was just half a chance there that Szapelski might get in there as well, but he just got all wrapped up in the bundle there and couldn't make it work.
Certainly getting some good racing so far tonight, and Michael Jepsen-Jensen, the winner of heat number 7, and he's a rider who's probably his aims are going to be to try and make top 5 for qualification for next season, and he's certainly in the mix to do just that. Here we go with heat 8. There is Bartosz Smektala in the white helmet coat. Next to him there in blue, Antonio Limbach off gate 2. It'll be Grigory Laguta off the inside gate, the leader of the series, the strong title favourite now. He rides in red, and it's Mikkel Mikkelsen, who, as with Laguta, also won his first ride. There he is in yellow.
Interesting lineup. Come on, Lindback.
What can we get from Antonio Lindback?
Yeah,
it really
he's
is.
got to pick himself up now and get out on this track and make it happen. He's got the ability, there's no doubt about it. Smektala as well, only 1 point so far. And I think, you know, that first race, just give these guys the opportunity. I know they've had some practice, and I'm not so sure which riders participated in it, but that first race will give you an indication of which way you got to go with your setups.
Laguta inside, Limbach at gate 2, Smektala gate 3, Mikkelsen outside. Limbach scored 11 points in Gustro, finished 4th, scored just 2 extraordinarily in Torun, and ran a poor last in his first one here. So the rider in blue under some pressure, and Laguta in red looking to really put a grip on the series as they get underway with heat number 8. And Smektala's made a good one there in white. He's got in front of Laguta into the bend, but that inside line does work off bend 2. Smektala pulls nicely off bend 2, and he race leads over Laguta, and Mikkelsen will now try a big outside blast around turn 3 and 4, and he will go round Laguta. Or will he? Laguta's really tight, brutally tight. They make some contact in lap 2, but Mikkelsen has still got the move around the outside going. It's Smektala in front, and Mikkelsen this time does get round Laguta.
Beautiful move from Mikkelsen to get himself into that second position, but out in front, Smektala's got some speed now. Whatever adjustments he's done is working. Either the tracks come to him or he's got it dialed in. But I can tell you that Mikkelsen really means business. He went around Laguta, the favorite to win and clinch the series in this race with ease.
Really brave right by Mikkelsen. I think Mikkelsen's got trouble here. Mikkelsen has got trouble, mechanical trouble, and Laguta may get back inside him off the second turn. Yes, he does. And now can he bring it home for third? It's Smektala with the advantage. Mikkelsen seems to be going again now as he makes it back round the outside, and it will be... Oh, well, can you call that? I can't. Blimey.
That's another
Mikkelsen,
one.
something was going wrong there on the bike into lap 4.
It was.
And then it started to work again.
Yeah, two grabs at it, wasn't it? The bike slowed down. He said, Laguta, come back. I want to race you one more time. I think Mikkelsen might have just pulled that off. The bike reared and he wheelied across there. But I think, from my eyes, it looked like he got it.
Well, again, the referee wants to check out this interesting strap for second place. Mikkelsen in yellow, Grigory Laguta in red. Mikkelsen, I can tell you, was chatting with the start marshal. I wonder if he misread a flag.
Oh, it's possible.
Now, has he made it anyway, the rider in yellow? Yeah, I think it looks like he has.
Yep.
On one wheel.
Let's let the referee make that decision, but it's close.
Referee is actually calling for further replays, but Mikkelsen, out of your picture, went to see the start marshal. So I wonder whether a flag came out after lap 3. Not sure, but anyway, it was very peculiar the way he suddenly got going again.
Yes, yeah, well, maybe that's what it was. He got confused, and he's actually... This is the finish again.
It's the fact that he's lifted that's causing a bit of confusion.
Say there's no defined white line.
I think he's saying yellow, the referee, just trying to... yeah, white, yellow, red is confirmed. So Mikkelsen does get the second place over Grigory Laguta. So it's a clear win in the end for Bartosz Smektala, and the second place does go to Mikkelsen and Laguta in third. But more good racing, some terrific stuff so far tonight, so I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, this track is definitely letting the riders have a really good chance of going out there and throwing all their natural talent out there, and it's working good.
So Smektala wins heat number 8. Jepsen Jensen, Pedersen, Lahti and Mikkelsen lead the meeting on 5.
Te dni i noce, pełne Twej miłości i troski. Robisz wszystko dla swojego maleństwa, nigdy się nie poddajesz. My też nie. To dla Was nasze przełomowe odkrycie, by wspierać odporność i zdrowy rozwój Twojego dziecka. Unikalna receptura, a w niej immunoskładniki, białko OptiPro oraz oligosacharyd 2FL o strukturze identycznej jak w mleku mamy. Jedyne takie mleko następne. NAN, nasze najlepsze. Żywienie dla przyszłości.
Dobrze wiecie, że czasem jesteście zbyt pochopni. Trochę nieosiągalni. Tak, czasem jesteście właśnie tacy. No i co? I tak was uwielbiamy. Darmowa dostawa, 100 dni na darmowy zwrot, punkty odbioru i zwrotu. Więcej na zalando.pl.
Najszybsi kitesurferzy potrafią przy dobrych wiatrach rozwinąć prędkość nawet 100 km na godzinę. A super szybki dostęp do swoich finansów masz z aplikacją mobilną Banku Millennium. Otwórz konto 360 stopni, telefonem płać jak kartą, a dzięki usłudze AutoPay przez bramki na wybranych autostradach przejeżdżaj nie wyciągając portfela.
Bank Millennium. Tradycyjna bankowość w nowoczesnym wydaniu.
Chcesz spędzić urlop albo weekend w wyjątkowym miejscu? Znajdź odpowiedni hotel na portalu triverna.pl z rabatem nawet do 70%. Sprawdzaj okazję na triverna.pl.
Kraków Live Festival. Post Malone, Calvin Harris, Macklemore, DJ Snake, Years and Years, Banks i wielu innych. 2 niesamowite dni pełne festiwalowych emocji. 16-17 sierpnia. Kraków Live Festival.
Nowa Viva, tylko teraz 99 groszy. Izabela Janachowska, najszczęśliwsza mama na świecie we wzruszającej rozmowie o synku. Dominika Tajner o rozstaniu z Michałem Wiśniewskim. Viva na lato, ekstra dodatek, aż 37 stron. Moda, pasje, podróże i niezwykła historia Krystyny Dębskiej-Olbrychskiej i Daniela Olbrychskiego. Z tym numerem również pierwsza część serii Czarny Kryminał autorstwa Marka Krajewskiego, Mok Pojedynek. Tom pierwszy tylko 9,99. Viva bez dodatku, tylko teraz 99 groszy.
Dlaczego Scopolan Compositum zwalcza nawet bardzo silny ból brzucha i skurcze? Ponieważ zawiera nie jedną, lecz 2 silne substancje aktywne. I kiedy jedna usuwa ból, to druga likwiduje skurcze. Gdy inne środki nie dają rady, wybierz Scopolan Compositum. Lek o zarejestrowanym działaniu na silny ból i skurcze. Przed użyciem zapoznaj się z treścią ulotki dołączonej do opakowania, bądź skonsultuj się z lekarzem lub farmaceutą, gdyż każdy lek niewłaściwie stosowany zagraża Twojemu życiu lub zdrowiu. Scopolan Compositum. Podwójna siła na silny ból brzucha. Teraz bez recepty.
We are back in Voyance Speedway Euro Championship round 3, and I'm here with Jakob Olsen, the owner of Voyance Speedway Center. It's very nice you found the time to come over and speak with us. I would like to ask you, because Voyance is back in business, we can easily say that after a few years break, and the huge development has been done here. We can see that easily. It looks perfect tonight, and therefore we have a great speedway tonight. I gotta ask you about the challenge that you had to face, because it must have been a big job and a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you're right, and thank you very much. And for me, it's an honor, you know, that we have the European Championship here. And yeah, we've really worked hard the last 7 months, the whole crew and everyone. And I must say that Voyance is special, you know, and Voyance is like one of the big national stadiums here in Denmark, and for Speedway this is the place to be. So we're very proud that we can move on, and great to see all these Danes are doing so good tonight.
I need to ask you also about the cooperation with the One Sport. How is it going?
Yeah, I must say they are very professional, and I'm so happy, you know. Of course the Grand Prix series is running and it's the World Championship they're racing for, but this is very good for the sport, you know. We can see the young ones coming through and other riders. They are very professional, and the TV, what you guys are doing, are very good, very good.
So one last question, because we have a very strong representation of Danish riders. In your opinion, who will be on the podium tonight?
Oh, you know what? Unfortunately, it was a shame that Leon Madsen couldn't do it today, you know. But that's how it goes, you know, with the sport. But I think that as it looks now, Nicky looks very strong, and Mikkel Mikkelsen also. But Michael Jebsen Jensen, you see him having some good runs. So we got 3 strong Danes. So I can't tell you who I think is going to win. They look strong.
So we got to keep watching. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
They have worked very hard indeed in Voyance over the years and over this weekend also to get this meeting on, and they've been rewarded with a good crowd. They've had a tough time with the weather, but we've seen some great racing here in Voyance in the opening 8 races. And Jebsen Jensen, Pedersen, Lahti and Mikkelsen lead the meeting on 5 points apiece. So 3 Danes in that particular category in the series at this stage. Grigori Laguta on 31 points, the Amstel Mountain on 26, Nicky Pedersen on 24. Heat 9 is next up. Václav Minik there in the red helmet colour off the inside gate. Mikkel Mikkelsen goes in blue off gate 2, 5 points so far. Jarek Hampel in white off gate 3, he is on 3 points so far. And Timo Lahti there in yellow, he's on 5 off the outside.
Yeah, a mixed scoreboard on this heat number 9. You would think that Jarek Hampel would be eager to get a couple more points on his total there, but Mikkelsen, the Dane, is looking pretty sharp.
Heat 9 at the start line. Minik and Mikkelsen, Hampel and Lahti, and the referee isn't happy at the moment. He's pointing out the fact that I think there's a camera close to the outside on gate 4. and that is, yes, he wants to move that camera away.
Get out of my way.
So
let the rider have the opportunity. It's happened to me before whenever you're up there and the camera's right in your face when you're on gate 4. A bit difficult sometimes, but he straightened that one out.
So we try again with the heat number 9. And away they go, and Mikkel Mikkelsen in blue has got the gate over Václav Milik. Lahti made a good one, 2 in yellow, but it's a little bit too wide off. Bends 1 and 2, may still get round Milik. Milik holds second, Campo is at the back, and Mikkelsen at race leads as the outside run being taken by Timo Lahti. They had water during the break, the track parade and watering took place, so that outside line might not quite be there for now. Milik out of shape on turn 2, and Mikkel Mikkelsen stretching clear out front.
Yeah, Mikkelsen really made a firm start from that gate number 2, got himself out front, and is pulling away from the Czech rider Milik. That, as you say, is just struggling with conditions, just a little bit to keep the rhythm smooth.
Should point out once again, Václav Milik had a big crash a couple of weeks ago. He was somewhat of a doubt for this meeting, certainly desperate to move on and score some points, but that may slightly be hampering him this evening. Certainly no hampering Mikkel Mikkelsen out clear. He was not too fit for the first round in Güstrow, but certainly pulling well away now, and the scrap is still on for second and third behind that, but it's Mikkel Mikkelsen winning heat number 9, and Milik will hang on for second over Timo Lahti and Jari Campo at the back, who was the runner-up in the series last year, but isn't going to be anywhere near that this year, the way things are going at this stage. Mikkel Mikkelsen winning heat number 9 and moving on to 8 points in the meeting. He is looking very strong at this stage, one of several Danes going well here in Voyens. It's Mikkelsen taking 3 points there in heat 9. Václav Milik in second, Timo Lahti in third.
Yeah, Mikkelsen really wrapped it up. Basically, you can see the determination in his stance when he was sitting there getting ready for this heat number 9. And we'll watch him right there in the blue. Just as soon as the tapes went, he popped that clutch out and the bike drove straight into the first turn quite rapidly, with Milik trying to pick up that second. Very disappointing to see Jari Campo the pole. He got beat by Lahti right here from the outside quite easily into the corner, and really never put on any hint of picking it back up and getting into the race. It was all about the Mikkel Mikkelsen, the Dane, that really stretches his approach coming out of that start to get himself out in front, and he means business. The bike's going good, and just wrapped that one up quite easily.
8 points from 3 rides for Mikkel Mikkelsen, winning heat 9, and I'm sure very pleased with how the meeting is going so far. On we go to heat 10, and we've got Nicky Pedersen in this one, who scored 5 points from 2 rides, as had Mikkelsen prior to heat 9. Smektala is also in this one off the inside, and Kai Hülkenberg, who rode well last time, off the outside, along with Pavel Szczepelski. So Pedersen there, that man in blue, who's looked pretty sharp. He won his first race very convincingly. He ran a solid second in his second ride. And the man who finished second in the Nordic Grand Prix of 2012 here in Voyens, Nicky Pedersen, quite winning, managed second place, trying to go one better here tonight. But there is Bartosz Smektala, who also had a good second ride when he won. So interesting lineup here: Smektala, Pedersen, Szczepelski and Hülkenberg.
Yeah, well, can we say that we have the oldest and the youngest rider in this race? And tonight,
I think I would go along with that. Yeah,
go along with
Smektala on the inside.
I could say Nicky Pedersen is the oldest guy on the
42 years of age, Nicky Pedersen, and young Bartosz Smektala at the age of 20. He'll be 21 later on this month.
Yeah, that's it. And I can remember Nicky telling me in my later part of my career, old man, so I can almost call him the old man. He could be the one that's a threat in this heat 10.
Bartosz Smektala inside, Nicky Pedersen gate 2, Pavel Szczepelski gate 3, Kai Hülkenberg off the outside. It's Smektala in front of Pedersen into bend 1, a cut back there by Hülkenberg on turns 1 and 2, but it can't quite get him up to Nicky Pedersen. Hülkenberg lifting on the back straight. Smektala out in front here of Pedersen. Szczepelski tries to run around the outside on bends 3 and 4. Pedersen will block that one out, but Szczepelski is still there in the equation. Hülkenberg has missed out totally, and whilst they're all scrapping away, it's Smektala pulling clear of Pedersen.
Yeah, Smektala in his second ride showed that bike's got plenty of speed, and he knows how to ride it quite rapidly, and he's out in front of this one right now. Nicky's just holding everybody back now, bunching them up. He's sitting there just holding on to that one. Right, Szczepelski was trying to do, but he made a bit of a mistake, and Hülkenberg made one earlier on, so they're trailing.
Hülkenberg's trying to recover third place here. Szczepelski made a mistake on bench 3 and 4, and now Hülkenberg will try and turn back to the inside into the last lap. He gets down the inside for the third place. They're really scrapping away there for that third spot. Away and clear out front is Bartosz Smektala over Nicky Pedersen, and Smektala will make it back-to-back wins. He wins heat number 10. Pedersen hangs on for second, and Hülkenberg gets the third over Szapelski, who made a mistake on bend 3 and 4 on lap 3, and that put him under threat from Kai Hülkenberg, who sealed the deal down the inside into the 4th lap. But the young Pole, Bartosz Smektala, finished third first time out. He's followed that up with 2 race wins on the bounce. So Smektala onto 7, Nicky Pedersen also onto 7 with that second place, and Kai Hülkenberg picked up a point for third.
Yeah, it was a pretty impressive approach there with Bartosz Smektala, the young Pole, 20 years old, going up against Nicky Pedersen, 42 years old. I'm sorry I'm throwing that in there. I'll give that one up now. But it still was a good ride there from Smektala to get himself out in front and just pretty much check out straight away and left for the rest of the guys to battle on. Here's Nicky Pedersen trying to hold on to that second place, and he did. He made a nice cutback to get back to the inside where he needed to be. Everybody else bunched up behind him. It was Szapelski having a go. Then it was Hülkenberg having a go, and they just bunched up there. Hülkenberg right now with 7.44 in his back, just lift going down that back straightaway, then composes himself to actually hold on to it. But Szapelski then has a bite at third place. These guys battle for the minor points, and it was actually Hülkenberg that squeezed in for that third places, I believe. That's right.
Yes,
that's it. So Nicky Pedersen holding on to second place.
And you're talking about the old man on track at the age of 42. Well, Mr. Ermolenko was back on the bike last week. Sam is looking good as well.
That's it. Yeah, I had a little go at Wolverhampton. It was quite good. And lucky we're going to a break, and we're going to have to forget about that one now.
Heat number 11 in Voyant. Antonio Limbach off the inside. Andrei Kudryashov gate 2. Peter Kilderman gate 3. None of them have scored a point between them so far. Fredrik Jakobsen goes off the outside gate. He's picked up 3. So what are we going to get from Messrs Limbach, Kudryashov?
Somebody's going to get some points on this
You'd
one
like
here.
to think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, wow. That's usually unusual to see that, isn't it?
And did you notice when we talked about you riding again, which was great to see, I never mentioned the wheelie or what happened afterwards?
Good on you. Yeah, that was pretty fun getting back. There's a bit of a banter going on between the Australians. That's Kane Lawrence and Zane Kennedy. We both hang out together in England, and they're stabled at my workshops. And we finally they finally talked me in and prepared my bikes. And I went out to Wolverhampton last Monday, and right as Heat 15 ended, I went out there and put the throttle on. It was pretty fun.
You were the post-media entertainment. Very good. Anyway, heat number 11, Limbach, Kudryashov, Kilderman and Jakobsen out the start line. Here we go. Can someone score some points here from gates 1, 2 or 3? Kudryashov makes quite a good one. Limbach makes quite a good one too. Turning back is Peter Kilderman, and Jakobsen in trouble. And now we've got absolute carnage on turn 2. Well, that's going to hurt there as Jakobsen went into Limbach. That's going to hurt big time.
Yep.
And well, it was already trouble before that happened. And in fact, Jakobsen had been way out of shape on turn 2, which had put him behind, and then the incident happened in front of him. So yeah, really nasty incident there off the second bend, and it's Limbach who is obviously the concern, because he was struck by Jakobsen.
Yeah, just got slammed and nowhere to go. Let's hope he can get up out of that one, but I'm sure it would have knocked the wind out of him. There's no doubt about that one.
Well, there we go. Let's pick the bones out of this one. A very unusual incident. But
Limbach on the inside tries to get it in there. Kudryashov gets into the first corner in blue, turns the bike, goes up high, and you can see Jakobsen's last, and he didn't. Just collected him.
So Kilderman in white, trying to move through on the inside, and it looks like he appears to have cleaned out Limbach. We'll get a closer angle on that.
Yep, comes underneath him, lifts a little bit right there, knocks Limbach's front wheel. Limbach's now a passenger to the ground, and luckily we didn't see it in that shot there, but he just got slammed.
So you have to believe that Kilderman for the second time tonight is going to be excluded.
Let's just see what the referee will see on this one.
We'll find out here how much contact there is.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And in fairness to Fredrik Jakobsen, he's... Yeah, I mean, I think Fredrik Jakobsen's done pretty much all he can in terms of turning.
It looks, it looked a lot worse from the other shot when Limbach got hit, but he looks like he might have been able to roll over the top of that bike because he was bouncing. Who's to say? Let's hope he just gets up out of that one.
It's not exactly ideal. You get knocked off, that's bad enough. And then just as you're sort of collecting yourself from that, then comes a second big knock.
Yeah.
So there's Kilderman on
blindsided right there. Oh man, that looks so terrible from that angle.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it no more. We're done.
No, Antonio Limbach. We've seen a bit of carnage in this series this year so far, the multi-rider incidents, and in fact even Kudryashov almost got caught up in that. Unfortunately, he didn't quite. But Peter Kilderman was certainly heavily involved. We've yet to see any exclusion light put on by the referee. but they tend to wait in these circumstances whilst the treatment's given to the rider, hoping that Antonio is.
He's a tough guy. He's a tough lad. But his shoulder was holding his shoulder when he was rolling around the left side. Obviously, that's where it looked like the biggest shunt was. But he's sitting upright, which is nice.
Well, that's good to see. But quite clearly, with the double incident there for Antonio Limbach, and I don't really think you could argue that he was turning back on Kilderman. Kilderman appeared to be sort of shooting through, but had not completed his passing move. So
yeah, they bunched up, I would say, and I would say Antonio Limbach was pretty much in the wrong place at the wrong time as Kilderman was getting some drive. I would say that Kilderman should have, you don't want to let the throttle off when you're in that position, but as he moved, he lifted that little bit, and the referee will note that fact that he kind of aggressively changed line a little bit, and that's when the incident happened.
Still awaiting any word on a decision from the referee, who I think is, the referee is checking the screens. Whether he wants to look at the replay again, I don't know, but as I say, probably awaiting news on the fitness, first of all, and health of Antonio Limbach as Václav Milik looked on. It's been a bit of a rush of injuries for several riders involved in this series. So Antonio Limbach continues to receive treatment on the track, but hopefully have some news for you very shortly. In the meantime, we'll take a quick break here in Voyens before the rerun of heat number 11.
Każdy dzień zaczynam z kroplami Systane Complete. Dzięki nim nic mnie nie ogranicza.
Nie daj się zatrzymać dzięki Systane Complete. Kroplom nawilżającym o kompleksowym działaniu, które przynoszą ulgę suchym i podrażnionym oczom.
2 krople Systane Complete, by sprostać codziennym wyzwaniom.
Chcesz spędzić urlop albo weekend w wyjątkowym miejscu? Znajdź odpowiedni hotel na portalu triverna.pl z rabatem nawet do 70%. Sprawdzaj okazję na triverna.pl.
Gdy twój mózg w lot dostrzega możliwości, a mięśnie precyzyjnie wykonują zadania, to znaczy, że znasz moc elektrolitów Orial. Orial zasila mięśnie i mózg. Dostępny w aptekach, również w wersji Max.
Te dni i noce pełne Twej miłości i troski. Robisz wszystko dla swojego maleństwa. Nigdy się nie poddajesz. My też nie. To dla Was nasze przełomowe odkrycie, by wspierać odporność i zdrowy rozwój Twojego dziecka. Unikalna receptura, a w niej immunoskładniki, białko Optipro oraz oligosacharyd 2FL o strukturze identycznej jak w mleku mamy. Jedyne takie mleko następne. NAN, nasze najlepsze. Żywienie dla przyszłości.
Kraków Live Festival. Post Malone, Calvin Harris, Macklemore, DJ Snake, Years and Years, Banks i wielu innych. 2 niesamowite dni pełne festiwalowych emocji. 16-17 sierpnia. Kraków Live Festival.
Niech Twoje lato dostanie mocy. Wakacyjna oferta Suzuki na Vitarę także z napędem na 4 koła All Grip. Taka cena zdarza się tylko latem.
Nowa Viva, tylko teraz 99 groszy. Izabela Janachowska, najszczęśliwsza mama na świecie we wzruszającej rozmowie o synku. Dominika Tajner o rozstaniu z Michałem Wiśniewskim. Viva na lato, ekstra dodatek, aż 37 stron. Moda, pasje, podróże i niezwykła historia Krystyny Dębskiej-Olbrychskiej i Daniela Olbrychskiego. Z tym numerem również pierwsza część serii Czarny Kryminał autorstwa Marka Krajewskiego, Mok Pojedynek. Tom pierwszy tylko 9,99. Viva bez dodatku, tylko teraz 99 groszy.
Dlaczego Scopolan Compositum zwalcza nawet bardzo silny ból brzucha i skurcze? Ponieważ zawiera nie jedną, lecz 2 silne substancje aktywne. I kiedy jedna usuwa ból, to druga likwiduje skurcze. Gdy inne środki nie dają rady, wybierz Scopolan Compositum. Lek o zarejestrowanym działaniu na silny ból i skurcze. Przed użyciem zapoznaj się z treścią ulotki dołączonej do opakowania, bądź skonsultuj się z lekarzem lub farmaceutą, gdyż każdy lek niewłaściwie stosowany zagraża Twojemu życiu lub zdrowiu. Scopolan Compositum. Podwójna siła na silny ból brzucha. Teraz bez recepty.
To jest mój syn.
Nowy sezon Pod Powierzchnią. Oglądaj tylko w Player.
Andres Thompson joined us today in Voyens. Andres, it's great to see you safe and sound. I know that the recovery is still going, but after that terrible crash, it's really good to see you here.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think I'm pretty lucky after that terrible crash.
it's only happened with my hand and my ribs, you know, but I don't know when I will be back, because the problem is now my hand is like the bones are swelling and they don't know how it like goes smaller again. So that's why I say so late I cannot race today. So.
I saw you speaking with Peter Kildemand after the crash between him and Antonio Lindbeck. What did you actually tell him?
We just speak about his starts and yeah, it's the referee's decision, but it looks terrible as well. Nearly the same like me, but not that bad. So I hope Lindbeck is all right, but yeah, he could do nothing. So.
Coming back to you, did you see the review of that terrible hit that happened in Torun?
Yeah, I see it a few times. It's really terrible, and I didn't know I was running over before the day after when I came out of the hospital. Then I find out one rider run over me, and I see, and I was looking up and say, hey, I'm lucky, because only with my hand and ribs, it could be the neck or the head or something happened. So I'm really happy and yeah, satisfied nothing happened.
We are also happy, and we hope that the recovery will go very quick and you will be ready for the races. Just one last question: how do you find it tonight in Boyens?
Yeah, you know, it always needs to rain a little bit in Boyens, then it's good speedway, and the track looks amazing, and also like the guys behind the track do an amazing job, and good crowd, and yeah, perfect. Looks really good speedway.
All the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good to see Anders Thompson in good health. Obviously not quite able to ride tonight with that hand injury, but good to see him back at the stadium. So we're about to get underway with the restart of Heat 11 of the third round of the Speedway Euro Championship here in Voyens. But it's bad news for Antonio Lindbeck, who did manage to walk off the track after the crash at the first running of the race. But the word is that he may well have a broken arm, which is an absolute disaster. You can see there, poor Antonio. Obviously we'll be going to hospital to get that checked out, and let's hope that's not the case, but broken arm is not a good injury, so wish him all the very best. Peter Kilderman there in the white helmet cover. The referee, interestingly, has ruled to put all four back in, which you don't often see for a crash that happened on the second bend.
Yeah, well, the referee obviously thought that anything could have happened in that one. It could have been anybody's fault. They all went down. Let's wish Antonio Lindbeck all the best. Any injury is a bad injury in Speedway, as we just seen Thompson there saying that he's pretty lucky, and let's just say that maybe Tony's lucky and nothing's broken.
Well, absolutely, let's hope so. And Anders Thompson is very lucky indeed with the incident he had with Leon Manson and Robert Lambert in Torun, and fingers crossed we'll see him back in Horshoff. But yeah, not good for Antonio, and I think he's being probably encouraged to head off into the ambulance and get himself fully checked out. In the meantime, at tapes for the restart of Heat 11. Leaga coming in to ride in red, Kudryashov, Kilderman and Jakobsen. That's absolute fire as well there. And the red lights come on. The red lights have come on. So the referee's having a busy old night here, Mr. Artur Kuzmierz. Plenty going on here in Voyens, and another start line incident for him to take a look at. But it looked like an absolute flyer, and we'll just see just how good that was from the rider in red, Andreas Leaga, who's going to have a few rides now with the withdrawal of Antonio Lindbeck.
Yep, on that inside, we're focusing on the tapes are going to go up just as he lets the clutch out, I believe. They did. Oh yeah, he was going before the tapes went. Didn't touch him though, so referee might have an easy one. There's a warning. Yeah, all four back warning for red, and that's the effect of a flying start, isn't it? That's a bike and a half's advantage over the rest. So Leaga will be getting. We already knew that Fredrik Jakobsen would be racing the full meeting. If you are just joining us, we now did another sporting event today. Leon Manson, the defending series champion, ruled out of tonight's third round after a crash in Poland at Czestochowa last night. He actually rode on after the crash in Heat 1, and Czestochowa booked their playoff place, but further tests confirmed he does need time to sit out with some ligament damage. Of course, he is chasing a world title as well, so we do wish Leon Manson well. That's opened things up for Gregory Laguta to
try and take control of this series, and he's picked up 4 points so far from his first 2 rides. So no Madsen here tonight after an incident in Poland last night, and also in Poland last night, confirmation, though it had been coming for a while, that Torun are relegated, and that's when you look at what they had over the years in the stadium and the facilities there, it's an incredible fall from grace.
Yeah, they must be, the fans and the management must be really disappointed in that. You know, that's sport. Sometimes you can't win them all, and that's a perfect example of when you're at the top, there's only one place to go, isn't it?
Could be seeing a Torun Big Gosh derby next season, I think. It'd be very interesting.
I was a part of that.
But back in the day.
Oh yeah, I was a Big Gosh rider, and that was pretty heavily policed many times when I was making an appearance at the Torun Speedway, or when, likewise, when Torun came to Bydgoszcz.
Absolutely. So, restart for, this is the third go, isn't it? I'm losing track of how many times we tried to run heat number 11. We mentioned that someone's going to score some points here, the people that were on naught, but well, unfortunately we've lost Antonio Lindback. We could have lost Peter Kilderman as well. So hopefully at some point somebody will get off the mark in this one. Larga on the inside with that warning. Kudrashov off gate 2, Kilderman there in white off gate 3, and Fredrik Jakobsen goes in yellow off the outside. We try again with heat number 11 here in Voyens, this time they're away, and it's a good start by Larga off the inside gate. He gets there in front, turning back in white, Peter Kilderman, and can he make the move stick? No, he can't. He tries to take Larga wide, and Larga goes back round him into bend 3. So Larga over Kilderman, and the wide run from Fredrik Jakobsen will take him through into third place past Andrei Kudrashov. So Larga leading Kilderman here. Kilderman trying those inside swoops, not working so far. The reserve out in front.
Yeah, Larga's got the track weight up. He's going straight after that dirt coming through 3 and 4.
Fredrik Jakobsen in massive trouble up and 4.
Oh no.
He went too wide, and Kudrashov goes through.
Yeah, that's it. So there we go. It's focusing on the guy in front out right there. Larga is making a really good run of this 300-meter racetrack. Going right up, using the outside line where you need to do it around this track.
Larga really impressive as he moves clear of Kilderman. The scrap is on for third, with Kudrashov now being challenged by a fast recovering Fredrik Jakobsen, who was heading for the pits the wrong way at the end of the second lap, but is now trying to get back around the outside on turns 3 and 4. It's a clear win for Andreas Larga. Kilderman second, and Kudrashov hangs on for third over Jakobsen, who doesn't score a point therefore in heat number 11. Larga gets a good win, the reserve, taking points off Kilderman, who at least gets 2 on the board there after a troubled start to the meeting. Kudrashov gets off the mark as well, with Fredrik Jakobsen no scoring in that race number 11. But an impressive ride there by the reserve, Andreas Larga, a rider who has got talent and promise. He wins heat number 11 and won it well from Peter Kilderman, with Andrei Kudrashov in third place.
Well, another Dane takes advantage of that inside gate, and that's Andreas Larga steps in here as a replacement, comes up straight with the right combination, but gets a big shunt from Peter Kilderman, which made a huge cutback. You can see him in the white helmet color right there. Lee with Kudrashov getting into the first corner on Boston, but leaves the door open as Kilderman comes underneath and gets himself right alongside Larga going down that back straightaway. Gave him enough room. Larga then threw the bike into the dirt and then started working the racetrack, and it pulled him away quite rapidly from that point on. And the race did get a little bit unsettled here with Jakobsen. I don't know if we're going to see it, but he goes in the corner. This is the part I missed, but he got himself in all kinds of trouble. But there we can see him doing a nice job getting around, or trying to battle for that place right there.
Unsuccessfully so. Kilderman and Larga exchanged pleasantries, and it wasn't that pleasant off turn 2 first time, because Kilderman tried to move him aside, but good ride by Larga to win race number 11. Heat 12 will feature Andrzej Lebedev there in white. A good lineup here, actually, with Vorina in red, 3 points so far. Laguta in blue on 4. Lebedev's in white on 4. And Jepsen Jensen in yellow on 5. So all these are certainly in contention.
Yeah, very, very much so. And the track is in really good shape. And there's 2 different distinctive lines right now. You can ride the inside, or you can go to the high line. And Voyens, there's a pit talk right there going on and debriefing. 59.70 was that time. And we haven't really been checking too many of the times, but the track record around here is done by Michael J. Jensen, and that's a 57.10 is the fastest they've ever been around this 300-meter racetrack. But this heat number 12 lines up, and as you say, it's a loaded one.
Kasper Vorina inside, Gregory Laguta, the series leader, gate 2, Andrzej Lebedev's gate 3, Michael Jepsen Jensen, gate 4. Mikkel Mikkelsen currently leads the meeting on 8 points. Here we go with heat 12, and away, and Vorina in Red gets away in front of Laguta. Lebedev's in third, trying to turn back in white. Laguta has gone wide straight away off bend 2. Laguta too wide, in fact, and Laguta might go to the back as Jepsen Jensen tries to go inside. Laguta really parks it on Jepsen Jensen on turn 3 and 4. It's currently in third place. Verina has the advantage over Lebedev. Lebedev's in a bit of trouble on turn 2. Laguta tries to bundle his way through, and Laguta might now get through second place.
Wow, Laguta picked that one up there and put that pressure on the guys. And Verona, if he makes a mistake, I think Laguta might want to hunt him down as well. So Laguta goes into the turns 1 again, goes right up on the inside, keeping it tight. And you can see Verona's thinking about it, but the high line is another good line as well.
Verina making it work on turn 3 and 4, third time round. Lebedev lifting off the fourth bend as Jepsen Jensen tries to come back into play. Laguta running a solid second here. I think he'll be happy enough with that, bearing in mind the way the series is going. Although Lebedev's trying to move into challenge once more. It's Kasper Verina with the lead. Laguta tries to run around the outside, and Jepsen Jensen trying the inside on the finishing line, won't quite make it. And Verina wins from Laguta with Lebedev's third and Jepsen Jensen at the back. All competitive stuff there in heat number 12, but a blow for Michael Jepsen Jensen, who doesn't score after a good start to the meeting, and he is currently outside the top 6 tonight for progression to the latter stages as Mikkel Mikkelsen leads the meeting. Kasper Verina gets his second win after a last place first time out. He wins heat 12. Laguta in second, Lebedev's in third.
You know, we're right over the start line. You can see right there in yellow, I don't know if you picked up on that, but Jesper Jensen was looking to the left at the start line rather than the right, so he must know something we don't know. Maybe the inside gates are going up a little bit quicker than the right side, but Verona from the inside right there made such a good start, getting himself into the first turn and was under immense pressure, but not straight away. And Laguta there in the blue was just trying to pick it up by going a little bit too wide coming out of 2, but he's up against the fence down the back straightaway in the blue helmet color. Right there is Laguta, the series leader. And as he was looking at Lebedev's up high and in the dirt up there, and left the door open for Laguta to keep down to the inside. He muscled his way into that second place, put the hunt on to see if he can get to Verona, but couldn't do it, ran out of time. But still a good drive from the series leader.
Yeah, second place for Laguta. He's not been massively dominant so far tonight, but what he is doing is accumulating points, which is what he has to do when his nearest rival, his main rival, isn't racing tonight. So he's trying to fend off people who were some way behind. He's doing just that. So job done by Laguta, and certainly by Verina, who wins heat number 12. So 3 rides completed by all the competitors here, or most of them here in Voin. It's been a tough night for some, especially with Antonio Limbach picking up an injury. But so far, here's how things stand. Round 3 of the Speedway Euro Championship, and Mikkel Mikkelsen leads the meeting on 8 points. Bartosz Schmecktaler on 7. Nicky Pedersen also with 7. And then on the 6-point mark, Kasper Verina, Gregory Laguta and Timo Lahti currently heading into the closing stages. But certainly Jepsen Jensen, Hulkenberg, Lebedevs on 5 points. Even Lager's managed to pick up 4 from 2 rides to reserve. So still pretty competitive stuff here to see who goes through. In the series overall, Laguta with 33 points, Madsen not racing on 26, Schmecktaler also on 26, and Nicky Pedersen also on 26, with Verina on 24. Lots has been going on at Voyens over the last year or so. We've heard from Jakob Olsen already tonight with the work he's done to renovate this stadium and bring top events back to Voyens. So we've got more to come later on this year, and I'm sure in the years to come. It really is a pleasure to be here. Of course, his dad, Ollie, multiple world champion, 3-time world champion. He was the man that really made Voyens in the first place. And of course, you know Ollie from back in your days. Sam, we'll hear from you in a second, but let's hear a bit from Ollie as we come back to Voyens.
Well, that goes back some years now, and it was obviously I won the first world title in 1971, and at that time Denmark was sort of totally unknown on the speedway side, including the country here. So we were very few riders, junior riders, and then we had to go for World Championship qualifying rounds, and that we always had to do that in other countries. So I thought we must have a home track. We must have something that we can, so it's an FIM recognized, and also size and everything, and we can take 20,000 spectators here. So I built this track in 1975, and we had the first meeting on the 21st September, and it was fantastic. We had 38,000 people, but also the riders, you know, they start calling it the Little Wembley here. We had lots of international events. Well, I think I've had lots of fantastic memories here. You can just look at the wall here, you know, all the people that has been racing here. And then people just had to come. If you hadn't won a meeting at Voyens, you know, you hadn't won anything. So they were all really keen on that. Yes, I got a few trophies here, and you know, I got over 300 trophies, so they're in some boxes up there, but obviously these are a little bit special, some of them, you know, and for instance, you know, this one here is my first ever that I won. 1963 it was, yeah. Just got my license and then I won this for the trophy. This was a junior sort of thing, you know. But also my golden helmet has been fantastic, you know. Won them in the Slad April by Czechoslovakia, you know, that's been fantastic, you know, winning them. And I got 7 of them, so that's been really good. But obviously, you know, there's other, I won the World Championship at Wembley and with the Golden Jubilee. That's Eric Gunderson's helmet. After I helped him, he gave me the helmet for after he won the first world title in 1984 up in Gothenburg. So he said to me, "What do you want?" And I says, "I would like your helmet." So I got that helmet from the meeting up there. The newspaper here once wrote that I got 3 sons. I have 2, of course, Jakob and Torben, and then my third one is Voyens Speedway Center. So I've always been more like a baby for me, and it's been created and it's grown up. So when Jakob came in, it's always sort of been a little bit in his DNA, and I mean, he's grown up with this. He came in and says that it was something for him, and I'm sure he's the right man. I mean, he's fantastic. He knows the sport. He's ridden himself. He's been involved, and obviously with the upgrading and all that, getting it all shined up again, it's back on the map, I think, and some new ideas will come in, so I think it'll be really good. I'm very pleased with it, and I enjoy coming out here and seeing how it's growing with things, so look forward to these big events now start coming again.
We're back in Voyens Speedway Euro Championship round 3. We are waiting for the 13 hit, but before that, short interview with Mikkel Mikkelsen, current leader of round 3. Mikkel, so far so good, 8 points, or you're on your account. You're currently leading in the round 3 of Tauron Speedway Euro Championship. What can you say about the track so far and how you're feeling today in Voyens?
Oh yeah, so far so good, like you said. Compared to how much rain we've had here today, I think the track is pretty good. It's a bit on the slick side, but you know, so far after 12 races, been a lot of good races out there. So yeah, I just gotta keep it up for the last 2 races and hopefully make it straight to the final.
What about your previous experiences with the track in Voyens? Do you remember being here for the last time?
Probably around 2013, 2014. Haven't been here for a while because they haven't been using the stadium, but it's nice to have Speedway back in Voyens. It's such a great stadium and place. It's a lot of good memories here from Danish Speedway, so hopefully we can make some more tonight.
I know your family is here supporting you today. That helps a lot, I think.
Yeah, of course. It's nice to have family and friends here, sponsors, that kind of stuff. Obviously, when we race so much around Europe, it's not you don't get to spend as much time as you want with your family. So it's nice to have them here supporting me.
Thank you. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Round 3 of the Speedway Euro Championship. Voyens at Denmark, and Heat 13 is at the start line. Mikkel Mikkelsen leads the meeting with 8 points. Bartosz Mechtala and Nicky Pedersen both on 7. Verena, Lahti and Laguta on 6. They complete the top 6 at this stage. They've all got 2 more rides to come. And Heat 13 at the start line. Michael Jepsen Jensen in red. Bartosz Mechtala, one of those leading contenders, in blue. Fredrik Jakobsen replacing the injured Leon Madsen. He's in white. Jarek Campbell goes in yellow. quick update on Antonio Limbach, injured during tonight's meeting, and the word now is of a broken collarbone rather than a broken arm. So it's not good news, but it's perhaps not quite as bad news as it was.
Yeah, any break's bad news, but that's one that can pretty much, you can almost overcome pretty quick depending on how bad it is. So let's wish him all the luck on that one. But as you say, this heat 13 is pretty interesting. We got Bartosz Smektala coming out of gate number 2 on the inside of him, the fastest guy around this racetrack, Michael Jesper Jensen. That'll be a good battle in the first corner.
Yeah, interesting battle here with Jesper Jensen inside of Smektala gate 2, and Smektala has just about got the gate as Jesper Jensen goes hard into the first bend, takes it wide, and Smektala goes too wide, and through goes Jakobsen into a second. I don't think Hampel will get through, but Smektala spins up on the wet fourth bend, and Smektala in big trouble, goes to the back. So Jesper Jensen with the lead, and Fredrik Jakobsen in second. Jarek Hampel picks up some drive in third. So Jesper Jensen race lead here, but Smektala set to no score.
Yeah, Jarek Hampel looked really uncomfortable as we see Smektala dealing with the freshly groomed racetrack. That's what happens sometimes when you're in the first race after they groom the track a little bit wet out there and they can't get a stable ride around it. But Jesper Jensen made no mistakes here. Coming from the inside probably was a bonus.
Jesper Jensen, who ran a last place in his last ride, looking to hit back in the best possible way here. He picks up some drive on turn 2, but has time to control Fredrik Jakobsen in second. Smektala has gradually gained ground on the Hampel, but I don't think he's got time to make a passing move. It will be victory there for Michael Jesper Jensen, second for Jakobsen, and indeed Hampel does just hold back the challenge of Bartosz Smektala to the finishing line. So that changes things around quite a bit, with Jesper Jensen moving up from 5 to 8, and Smektala staying on 7 with that last place. That does change things quite dramatically here in Voyens in that heat number 13. A win for Michael Jesper Jensen, second Fredrik Jakobsen, and third place Jarek Hampel.
Wow. You wouldn't have expected Smektala to get beat up so bad in this heat.
I thought he made quite a good start.
Yeah, actually. And as soon as he went out of the start on that inside, that track just got him. His setup could not grab any traction whatsoever on that little bit of greasiness right there. The bike's just spinning up, and he's just losing all of his forward movement. And as soon as Hampel comes on the inside of him right there, it just startles him a little bit. In that next turn, he really locked the bike up. Here we see another view of Jesper Jensen getting that bike hooked up from the inside. If you can call it hooked up, he just got an easy line being on the inside. And right in the 115 in the blue, right there, the bike just goes completely sideways and loses it. Jarek Hampel comes in for that third place, and that's the way he finished too. He looked very uncomfortable on the track as well.
Very rare to see Bartosz Smektala out of shape like that. Michael Jesper Jensen very pleased indeed. He has now 8 points, as does his compatriot Mikkel Mikkelsen, who has a race to come in this block of heats. We'll be seeing Mikkel Mikkelsen off the inside gate in heat 15, but heat 14 is next up. Kai Hülkenberg 5 points so far off the inside. Casper Verina with 6. It will be Liaga going in place of Limbach, who of course is out injured, and Timo Lahti off the outside also got 6 points. So Liaga, we saw winning a race coming in. He could mix things up. Verina, Hülkenberg and Lahti are all still in touch with the top 6 tonight.
Yeah, they're all just steadily scoring away with some points there, but you got to kind of try about this time in the meeting. You want to be making sure you're getting those 3 points.
Certainly do, as Timo Lahti just moves away from the start line. He's got some 25 seconds to go before that clock runs out, but just taking his time at the start line. Hülkenberg with 5 so far, a win and 2/3. Verina started with the last place, but then won his next 2 rides, and Liaga there off gate 3, and Timo Lahti now in line on the outside gate. Heat 14 in Voyens, the third round of the Speedway Euro Championship, and Kai Hülkenberg makes a good start from the inside gate, charging across the outside. Timo Lahti, who has made some good starts tonight. Verina gets squeezed out and back on the inside. Kai Hülkenberg in red takes the advantage. Hülkenberg leads, but Lahti trying to go back round him off the fourth bend. Liaga and Verina battling away. Verina gets his nose chopped off somewhat there by Lahti, and Kai Hülkenberg has already won 1 race so far tonight. He leads heat 14.
Yeah, another 3 points to his score. That's a good performance again. And Hülkenberg Hülkenberg is just holding on to that one. It was really good to see Latte really kind of stir it up on the outside through the first corner, got himself in position in the second. He's putting a wee bit of pressure on Hülkenberg.
There's also a battle going on for third place with Andreas Larga trying to scream around the outside there of Casper Verina as they come off their floor. Can't quite get it right for now. Hülkenberg still race leads from Latte, who's close to him, not really putting a challenge in. The scrap is more on for third place, although Larga somewhat out of shape on turns 1 and 2. It's going to be Kai Hülkenberg coming round turns 3 and 4 to win heat 14, and he wins it over Timo Latte with Casper Verina in third place and Larga that time at the back. So useful points there indeed for Kai Hülkenberg, also moving on to 8 points in the meeting with that result. Timo Latte is on 8 as well, so a really close-fought contest here so far. Verina just gets the 1 point there to leave him with the 7 at this stage. Hülkenberg wins heat 14, Latte in second, and Verina was third.
Timo Latte from that outside gate. They just groomed the track 2 races. Well, this will be the second race on this freshly groomed racetrack, and he gets himself up to that high line, looking for that little bit extra drive. He can possibly get it down the back straightaway. Hülkenberg has a quick look over his right-hand shoulder to make sure that he doesn't have to shut him down. He stays to the inside, and that works for him. So the German gets really good positive traction, staying on that inside. And that secured his position to be able to get another 3 points to his total so far this evening. But on the outside, Latte had to work pretty hard to make sure he got into that second place. And as the battle was going on with Larga and Veroni holding on for that third place, it was Veroni the pole that actually secured that 1 point in this heat 14. They both were battling for it, and Larga was just getting himself in all kinds of out of shapeness out there on that high line. But it's good to see him actually battling for it. The track is a little bit tricky at sometimes whenever they groom it. There's a little bit of water on the slick conditions. We already heard that Thompson mentioned the fact that this track gets graded sometimes and sometimes gets a little too slick.
Heat 15 and Mikkel Mikkelsen riding in red, the current or the joint meeting leader. He has a race in hand on Jepsen, Jensen, Hülkenberg and Latte, who have all also got 8 points. There's Andrzej Lebedevs, who's got 5 points so far. It's a tough race here. Peter Kilderman in blue, only 2. Not really got going tonight, the wild card, but Nicky Pedersen with 7 goes in yellow off the outside. So Mikkelsen on the inside, Pedersen outside, Kilderman and Lebedevs complete this lineup.
Yeah, Nicky Pedersen. I would say this track could come to him right now, being on that outside gate. He's right up against the outside where the wall is a little bit of dirt there. Mikkelsen will really be wanting to make sure they're inside gate. I think this is a pretty highly contested. Peter Kilderman can do way better than the points that he's got so far.
Yeah, it could be interesting first corner here, I think, in heat number 15. As they go away, Mikkelsen in red tries to get to the bend in front. Pedersen's made a great start from the outside. Nicky Pedersen has made it from gate 4. You called it, Sam. It's worked for Pedersen. Mikkelsen lifting on the back straight, so Kilderman is going to try and go round him on the third and fourth turns. Lebedevs holds the inside line if there's any carnage in front of him, and in fact Lebedevs may pick off Kilderman there at the start of lap 2 as Kilderman goes too wide. He does. Lebedevs picks up the third over Kilderman. Not worked out for him, but Nicky Pedersen picked up a fantastic start there from gate 4.
Really, really good driving in the first corner, but Mikkelsen's not done. He's looking for whatever way he can get it, or whether he can go on the inside of Pedersen or on the outside of Pedersen. He keeps having to slow himself up every time Pedersen blocks it. Not really doing much blocking, just riding a really tight line.
Mikkelsen looked a bit quicker, but Pedersen put the bike in the right place on the previous lap, and that's managed to move him clear. Mikkelsen with second. Again, Mikkelsen holds the inside, but Pedersen's got a nice line off the corner. Lebedevs in third. Kilderman has not happened to him at all tonight at the back, but Nicky Pedersen is going to win heat number 15. He does. The rider in yellow, Pedersen, wins it over Mikkelsen with Lebedevs in third, and the Danish flags are flying once again. They've got their riders certainly involved in this meeting and going to go through to the closing stages. Nicky Pedersen trying to reel in ground on Grigori Laguta. He's got 10 points so far tonight. Laguta's got 6 tonight with 1 race to come in this block of action, and it's Pedersen winning heat 15 from Mikkelsen with Lebedevs in third over Kilderman.
Yeah, 3 Danes on top in this meeting so far. Nicky Pedersen leading it on 10 points overall, with Mikkelsen on 10 points. I think you've already repeated what you've already said. Still a good race. This is how much it meant to the 42-year-old rider, Nicky Pedersen. I did mention it one more time. I won't do it again, I promise. Nicky Pedersen gets himself out in front and really holds on to it. Off of gate 4, just lets the bike go into the first corner. gets himself there, secures it, knows that he's got it, the mission's done already. He's just holding it to the inside right there. Mikkelsen lifts a little bit coming off a 2. He had a chance there. He just put the pressure on Nicky Pedersen about halfway through that race, but then just got the door shut on because Nicky wasn't going to move off the line whatsoever. We just see Lebedev's there, the rear of him into the first corner. He ended up holding on to third place when it was all done and over with, but it was Mikkelsen that was really trying to unease Pedersen if there's any chance of that, but the guy with a lot of experience, that's Nicky Pedersen in the yellow helmet color right there, ran a really stern race all the way through this Heat 15.
Nicky Pedersen on to 10 points on the night, along with Mikkel Mikkelsen, and Pedersen now 4 points behind Laguta in the series standings overall, but Laguta does have Heat 16 to come when he will go in the white helmet color. There's Nicky Pedersen, who will certainly be in the closing part of tonight's meeting, looking to make it straight through to the final.
Wow. You know, looking at that, you wouldn't have predicted that, would you? There are only 4 points right now going into this.
But Laguta does have this race in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. But still, you know, there's a chance there. Nicky must be, you know, thinking I can get on here.
Well, remember when Nicky came back from in Ribnik 3 years ago, and anything's possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, there's 9 riders battling for that, the success on that night. He's one that pulled it off, hey.
So Heat 16, these are the guys that Laguta has to try and beat. It's Kudryashov there in red off the inside, just 1 point so far. Milik in blue, who's got 3, and Czepelski in yellow, who's got 1. So Laguta in white, maybe not the strongest race on paper, but we have seen some of these go wrong for contenders in the past, and Laguta's been a shocker of a start, in fact. He's certainly third into the bend. It's Kudryashov with the advantage over Milik, and Laguta in third is rapidly being swallowed up by Czepelski's move around the outside. Laguta, in fact, goes wide himself, almost clips Václav Milik, and here comes Czepelski getting inside Laguta. So Laguta in trouble here in Heat 16, back into third, trying to get to Václav Milik. Kudryashov here has the advantage, and so far Laguta still scrapping away with Czepelski.
Wow, and he's made another mistake right there, a little bit too wide, but that corner does hold you up if you just keep it down now. Laguta might have a chance of just getting 1 point out of this thing. Just settle down, boy. And I can tell you right now that Kudryashov is really doing well to hold on to this one. Milik doing a fine job in second place as well.
Well, as things stand, 1 point is all Laguta is going to get, and that's unless Czepelski goes back round him on the last lap. Kudryashov leads from Milik, and Czepelski is going to try and go right round the outside here of Grigori Laguta, and it's going to be tight into the third bend. Czepelski has got the outside going. This is going to be crucial for the series. Czepelski has gone wide. He'll try and cut back. Kudryashov wins. Milik second, and Laguta will just hang on for third place. How important could that point prove to be coming to Horzów at the end of September? But Grigori Laguta in a Heat 16 that looked quite good for him on paper, it was not good for him on track at all. He only picks up 1 point, and there'll be a big smile from Nicky Pedersen, who's only 5 points behind him now in the series overall. Kudryashov wins Heat 16, Milik second, Laguta in third.
Wow, Kudryashov really made sure that those 3 points weren't going to slip away from here, but the rest of the boys were battling. Milik came in there with that coming out of that second position on the gate in the blue helmet color, but right here Grigori Laguta, the one that's leading the series in the white right there, messed this Heat number 16 all up. He couldn't get the grips of the track whatsoever, as he just seen the riders pulling away from him. And then he had a battle from Czepelski. Czepelski was throwing it in everywhere on him, but it was Kudryashov that really made this one count there. And you can see right there Laguta getting into all kinds of trouble just trying to keep pace with these guys.
Laguta, by the way, has got a tough Heat 20 as well. He's got to face Nicky Pedersen in that one.
So something's got to change on this setup, I believe, because he's not that bad of a rider.
He doesn't look quite as quick as he has done in the first 2 rounds this season, but also the track is different. One of the good things about this series is we see such a contrast in circuits. Güstrow is very unique. Torun, obviously, now this one, and then Horzów, the man-made circuit. It's a real all-rounder series, this is.
Yeah, that's right. With Horzów coming up as the last one, that's going to be on the 28th of September. And that one right there is a much bigger, it's 358 meters, and it's a man-made track. So these guys got a lot to contend with and a lot to look forward to, especially if you want to see any weaklings coming out of a man-made track coming up.
So here's how things stand after 16 heats in Voynes. All got 1 ride to come. Nicky Pedersen and Mikkel Mikkelsen on 10 points. Michael Jepsen Jensen, Kai Hülkenberg, Timo Lahti on 8. Bartosz Schmechtala on 7. Barina and Laguta also on 7. And the key thing to note there is at the moment, Laguta is outside the top 6 on countback. So if he doesn't go on, then there'd be a chance for Pedersen particularly to score in a final and pick up more points.
And he's only got 1 race win as well.
Absolutely, that's good news for him. So Pedersen and Mikkelsen lead the meeting here in Voynes. They've all got 1 round to come.
Dopóki serce dla drużyny bije nie tylko na trybunach, szczęśliwe koszulki mają moc wygrywania.
Rozpoczęło się finałowe spotkanie tego sezonu.
Nigdy nie odpuszczacie. Wspieracie jeden klub przez całe życie. Nieważne, czy gra o puchar, czy o honor. Wierzycie do ostatniej minuty. Dlatego wspieramy dla Was polski sport. STS. Wspieramy polski sport.
Każdy dzień zaczynam z kroplami Systane Complete. Dzięki nim nic mnie nie ogranicza. I podejmuję każde wyzwanie.
Nie daj się zatrzymać dzięki Systane Complete, kroplom nawilżającym o kompleksowym działaniu, które przynoszą ulgę suchym i podrażnionym oczom. 2 krople Systane Complete i nic cię nie zatrzyma.
2 krople Systane Complete, by sprostać codziennym wyzwaniom.
Knickknacks, the double crunch peanuts. Chrupiąca panierka, chrupiący orzeszek. Knickknacks, change the game.
Czy wyobrażacie sobie, że normalny kierowca płaci za litr paliwa 5 zł, a inny 2 razy więcej? No właśnie. A są w Polsce kierowcy, którzy za ubezpieczenie płacą nawet 2 razy więcej niż inni. Dlatego warto skorzystać z Mubi.pl. Mubi to porównywarka, w której w kilka minut dowiesz się, która firma ma dla Ciebie najlepszą ofertę. Często samo OC może być nawet o kilkaset złotych tańsze. Mubi. Tanio ubezpieczyć lubi. Sprawdź sobie.
Kraków Live Festival. Post Malone. Calvin Harris. Macklemore. DJ Snake. Years and Years. Banks i wielu innych. 2 niesamowite dni pełne festiwalowych emocji. 16-17 sierpnia. Kraków Live Festival.
Paweł, weź mi też taki kubek z lodem. Taki kubek z lodem ci wziąłem.
Weźcie sobie też taki kubek z lodem do schłodzenia napoju energetycznego Blach po złoty 99 przy zakupie 2 sztuk lub Coca-Coli Fanty Sprite'a po 3,49 przy zakupie 2 sztuk. Żabka. Mały, wielki sklep.
We are back in Voyance Tauron Speedway Euro Championship round 3, and we are waiting for the last series of starts. I'm here with Nicky Pedersen, who got 10 points at the moment. So you are flying here tonight, and I would like to ask you, because little by little you're building up your very strong position in the overall classification.
Yeah, I mean, tonight, you know, it's been pretty, you know, I wouldn't say I had the best speed of night, but we're building on all the time and modify the bike all the time. And last one I felt a little bit happy, but we still modify a little bit, you know, in my last one to see, you know, if we make a semi-final or come straight to the final. So far, so good.
I would like to ask you about the track, because it's been a little break since Speedway was here for the last time. I would like to ask you if it changed a lot.
Yeah, it's a little bit on this kind of slick side. You know, you see a lot of riders is riding only on the inside all the time. They had those kind of stadiums dirt they're using with a lot of small stones in, so we're rolling a little bit on the dirt. So the fastest line, you know, is mostly on the inside. But, you know, it increases all the time and it gives a good speedway, so that's good.
And the atmosphere here at the crowd is it's perfect. And if any of the Danes would finish up at the podium tonight, that would be perfect for the crowd.
Yeah, it would be good for the Danish fans. You know, we keep up fighting and doing our best.
Good luck. Thank you.
Round 3 of the Tauron Speedway Euro Championship in Voyant, Heat 17. Next up, they've all got one ride to come. Nicky Pedersen and Mikkel Mikkelsen lead the meeting on 10 points apiece. Jepsen, Jensen, Hülkenberg, Lahti and Smectala in the top 6 for now. In the series overall, Grigori Laguta leads Nicky Pedersen by 5 points, but Laguta currently outside the top 6 tonight, so he's got a big Heat 20 to come when he meets Nicky Pedersen. Heat 17, Jarek Hampel off the inside in red, 4 points so far. The reserve Andreas Viaga goes in blue in place of Antonio Limbach. racetrack. Pavel Shepelski in white with 1 point so far. Off the outside in yellow there, Andrzej Lebedev's currently on 6. Has a chance if he wins this to make it into the closing stages. They go away with hit 17, and Lebedev makes quite a good start from the outside, but in blue, it's Lyaga who leads, and Lebedev's trying to go around the outside, but might get squeezed out. Shepelski in white. Lebedev goes really wide, and that probably won't work because of more track watering. He's got lots of speed. He's actually got wider than where the water went, and that's worked out for him. It's still Lyaga leading though from Lebedev, with Shepelski battling hard and moving back through again.
Wow, that was impressive there from Lebedev's. I don't know if he knew what he was doing there, but he shot into that turns 3 and 4 into the no man's land, and the bike picked up speed, and he's holding on to that second place after a hard battle getting there, and that's not bad at all with Lyaga out in front. The Danes actually holding on to that inside line really tight.
Lebedev's has seen off Shepelski, and he's got a lap to go to try and catch up with Lyaga, who's seen win a race already here so far tonight, but can he hold back the challenge here of Andrzej Lebedev? Shepelski in third. Jarek Campbell's had a miserable night out the back, and it looks like Andreas Lyaga will see this one through over Andrzej Lebedev with Shepelski in third spot. It's a good win again for Lyaga, who's certainly done himself no harm whatsoever here tonight. He's had 4 rides, he's won 2 of them, so that's a great effort by Lyaga to win heat number 17. Lebedev's with second place moves up to 8. It probably won't be enough. He's in the top 6 for now. He's not won a race, he's scored every time, but that is probably not going to be enough with the likes of Lyaga, with Smektala and Barina behind him. But Lyaga wins heat 17 from Lebedev's, and Shepelski in third. Jarek Campbell, no points.
Wow, a determined ride there from Lyaga to get himself into that position coming from gate number 2. A little bit of a hiccup right there coming off of turn 2, but he actually composed himself right there. Shepelski on the inside gets trapped down in there, I would say, right there. But Lebedev from the outside gate, his options really weren't there. He stuck to that high line. He got a little bit no traction coming off of turn 2 because they just groomed the racetrack. It's a little bit wet, but instead going into 3, look how he just went way too wide, and he just hooked it up and went around him. We didn't get the actual pictures of that one right there, but this is the time when he's actually going around Shepelski and just got himself in the position where he needed to be to clinch that second place. Determined rider from Lebedev to get himself there. Still very good there for Shepelski to hold on to that, but the winner of this one and the Danes' favorite was Lyaga out in front from that gate number 2.
It's been good to see Lebedev back in the series, or back in a round of this series tonight, and whether we see him in Horzów will depend, of course, on the injuries elsewhere, but I'm sure he'll want to make his case for getting back in future. But also well done there to Andreas Lyaga, the winner of heat number 17, the reserve taking the 3 points. Big heat 18 on the cards now. Andrei Kudryashov there in red with 4 points so far, including a win last time out. Then Kai Hülkenberg in blue on 8, Michael Jepsen Jensen on 8, and Mikkel Mikkelsen on 10. So a very, very strong race indeed here at heat 18.
Yes, for sure. Couldn't say it any better than that right there. These guys have a lot of work to do to make sure. I mean, the track should come to the riders. There is some big lines. How deep do you want to go into turns 3 and 4? We just seen Lebedev's do it. I wonder if these guys picked any tips up from watching that race. They got to get all that start, number 1. Number 2, then they got to deal with getting down the racetrack and actually making that work in their favor.
They'll hopefully find us things straight out after the track grade and water. There'll be more out there for them on the outside. It is rather dark grey clouds overhead on bend 3 and 4, so let's hope we don't get any more rain before the end of tonight's meeting, because it's held off largely during the meeting, which has been very good. So the track conditions have been good, and we've still no way of knowing which way it's going to go. Lots of riders still in contention, including Kai Hülkenberg, Michael Jepsen Jensen. They're both on 8 points at this stage, and so could definitely move on. Mikkel Mikkelsen, of course, a win here, and that would take him definitely into tonight's meeting final. So that would do the job for him, or even a second place, in fact. But here we go with heat number 18, and Kudryashov in red made a good start. We've seen him do that before. Kudryashov's got the advantage here, would you believe it? Turning back in white, Michael Jepsen Jensen, that's a smart move. Mikkelsen might get squeezed out on the back straight. Kudryashov's going back round the outside, getting himself right in the mix. Michael Jepsen Jensen takes the advantage. Hülkenberg and Jepsen Jensen and Mikkelsen come oh so close there on lap 2. Mikkelsen might have to try and go in between there. Off turn 2. How tight's that? No room at all. That can't work. It's surely going down just about. Kudryashov has still got second here over Mikkel Nicholson. Poor Kai Hülkenberg's missed out completely.
Kai Hülkenberg, the German just got told what he's got to do, and that is to turn the throttle on right there. But I can tell Kudryashov actually got this one wrapped in there. He's going on to that second place. It's not over with yet.
Michael Jensen going well. Kudryashov definitely the spoiler here in Heat 18, holding second, although Mikkel Nicholson will come through now on turn 2. That's a big move there for Mickelson into second place. It's going to be Michael Jensen winning it. Kudryashov still battling on. Hülkenberg won't score. It's Jensen winning from Mickelson, and Kudryashov in third place. What a race there, Heat 18. How they all got round, well, up the back straight and into bend 3 together, I'm not too sure, but they did. Jensen was away from all the fun, and Mikkel Mickelson in the end managed to salvage second place at the start of lap 4, and he is on to 12 points, and we'll be seeing him in tonight's meeting final. What a race. Jensen, Mickelson, Kudryashov, Heat 18.
Yeah, and throw the German in there for good spirits, just to kind of keep it all safe and steady as it go. I can't believe what I just witnessed there. These guys were battling hard, chasing the high line. When I left the door open there from Michael Jensen to come in there, they all moved right up to the dirt. Michael stayed on the inside line, and actually one lap down, he got himself in the right place to deal with this one. This was really tight.
Well, it was, and Kudryashov was right in there. That's Jensen taking control, but we then have 3 riders going neck and neck down the back straight, and Mickelson trying to go in between the pair here.
Yeah, this is just great. Mickelson was really determined to make sure. Look how he had to squeeze in there, and that was tough. His experience, and then to hold the line, to keep it down low, to hold on to that thing, that was just impressive racing.
That is
so close. But look at this. This is what was impressive. He was able to stop the bike and pull it back down low and not go wide. And that right there was a very determined ride.
Certainly, absolutely. Mikkel Mickelson on to 12 points. Michael Jensen on to 11. Nicky Pedersen on 10 with 1 race to go. We've got Lahti to come on 8 points, so he can move on to 11. He'll be in Heat 20, but Heat 19 at the start line coming next. Heat 19 in Voyens, and Peter Kilderman, his wildcard appearance has not been a successful one at all. Just 2 points from 4 rides. He goes off the inside. Can he finish with a flourish in Heat 19? Bartosz Schmechtala in blue with 7. Certainly got the chance to move on. Needs points here, though, as does Kasper Verina in white, also on 7 points. Václav Milik in 5 on 5 will not go through. He goes off the outside. So Schmechtala and Verina, important for them here to move up from 7 points.
Yeah, Schmechtala and Verina both have 2 race wins. So if any one of them happen to be the one that comes out in front, that will be useful to have the extra 3 points. I'll put them in a better position as they start picking for the gate positions, as well as getting into that top 2 on the start line. And as you said, the clouds are a little bit darker to the, I'd say that's to the west. I would say
Ben's 3 and 4 is the west, isn't it? Right, okay, we've worked that one out.
Yeah, there's Lebedev looking over the fence. Yeah,
so good to see him back. He's done okay tonight.
Yep.
Good to see him back.
No race win, so he's one that's really vulnerable on the outcome of this heat, number 19, because we got Schmechtala on 2 race wins with 1.10.
Yeah.
Veroni the same.
So one of them is at least going to get 1 point, unless they both have a disaster.
Yeah. And then that puts them in only, basically, there's no chance of them getting into the top 2, because that's already sealed and done with.
Correct.
Well, actually, not really. Nicky Pedersen.
Pedersen with 10 can get past. They can get past both Mickelson and Jensen.
Yeah.
But also important about that Heat 20, where Pedersen meets Laguta. If Laguta himself only on 7, he's going to need
a race
potentially a race win, or at least a second place.
Yeah.
We'll see exactly what he needs after this race.
Yeah,
and also Lahti in that race too.
Yeah, well, Laguta's only got 1 race win so far, so that doesn't help him really when it comes to the countback.
And that could throw it in Nicky Pedersen's. If Nicky Pedersen can account for Laguta in Heat 20 and put him out of the meeting, then that also gives Nicky the final to score more points. So all of a sudden, it may well be that Nicky brings his whole right into contention. Could happen, but then again, Laguta might change his
Let's hope it does. Let's hope it does keep it interesting.
Well, we want a big finish, don't we, in the last round? And we hope that
we're still missing Leon Madsen, the Dane that is hurt, man. He would love to be here, I'm sure.
Certainly would have. You'd have thought would be the big scorer here, but not to be. Restart of Heat 19, then Kilderman, Schmechtala, Verina, and Milik. Heat 19 in in Voyens, and this time they're away well, and Bartosz Smektala gets an elbow from Peter Kilderman, and Kilderman leads just about, but Smektala is one on the outside. Kilderman lifting, Smektala turning back. What a good move there by Bartosz Smektala, who saw Peter Kilderman lifting, turned back and managed to shoot through, and Farina is coming through as well into second and leaving Kilderman. Not too much room there on the home straight, but Smektala out in front, has won twice already. This will bet them on the 10 points in the third race victory.
That was really a smart move right there from Smektala right there. Yeah, Kilderman gave him a bit of a nudge, which gave him a little bit of a gap, was able to turn the bike up high in turns 2 and get himself in this position he's in now with 3 points.
And we do see when Smektala hits the front, he's hard to pass, and there's no way that Farina will get in from there. Kilderman in third place, and Milik out the back, and Bartosz Smektala, who has had a couple of wins and a last place in his previous ride, but he's certainly fighting back from that very well. That was a great move on the back straight to turn back inside Peter Kilderman. Farina followed him through. We'll see where that leaves Farina, but Bartosz Smektala wins heat 19 from Kasper Farina with Peter Kilderman third, and Václav Milik, who I don't believe is at full strength tonight fitness-wise, is out the back. He's riding on after a crash a couple of weeks ago, but not quite at full chat as far as Václav Milik is concerned. But certainly Bartosz Smektala getting everything right and moving on to 10 points. Farina's second place takes him on to 9, Kilderman in third, and Milik at the back of heat 19.
Yeah, Smektala has to deal with Kilderman's poor performance so far, and only 2 points with Kilderman on the inside. He could rule the roost going into this corner, no doubt about it. He is on the inside. Kilderman in red lifts a little bit right there. Smektala read it perfectly, turned the bike that little bit, was able to come up at the inside going into turn through, and we can see Veroni right there following suit right there to follow Smektala and to get himself into position. Both the Danish rider and the Polish rider, one in red. That right there is Peter Kilderman that actually moved offline, and that was Bartosz Smektala in the blue there that took advantage and read that perfectly and finished off on 3 points.
So Smektala on to 10, and we'll be seeing him in the last chance. Farina is on 9, and we'll have to wait and see what happens in this heat 20. We've got Nicky Pedersen riding in red. He's got 10 points and needs a race victory, Nicky Pedersen. In fact, a second place Nicky Pedersen to move into the final on as leader of the meeting. He's currently got 10. Mikkelsen's got 12. Jepsen Jensen's got 11. So 2 points takes Pedersen through and as meeting leader. Fredrik Jakobsen there, the reserve off gate number 2. And then Timo Lahti in white has got 8 points. And Grigory Laguta has got 7. Hülkenberg on 8 is currently in 6th place. Lahti on 8 is just outside, but Laguta is there too with 7. So there's quite a lot to sort out here with Farina on 9. So yeah, there's several combinations, but what it would appear is that really Grigory Laguta here needs to beat Timo Lahti if he's going to make it into the last chance.
Timo Lahti's really been doing some really good starts. Nicky Pedersen's been staying to the inside. I know he came from gate 4 the last time and came straight across everybody, but he's intending to ride on the inside and get lots of speed. But we heard from his interview, he said the track you need to be there. So let's just keep Nicky Pedersen right on the inside. Laguta's got to make a big sweeping one to get around him to have a chance to get 3 more points on his leaderboard to put him on 10. But Timo Lahti could be the big spoiler on the white.
This is a big race in the series because Pedersen's 5 points behind Laguta. Smektala's also still in that equation as well. And can Laguta make it through into the close phase? Nicky Pedersen moved and the race has been stopped. Red lights on.
Straight on.
Yeah, Nicky Pedersen off the inside probably didn't need to do it, to be honest.
He hasn't been warned, has he?
No.
Okay.
No, Nicky's okay. And it is a warning for the rider in red, confirmed by the referee. But
Yep.
yeah, as I say, this is really important. Here's the replay, and you'll see the rider in red.
So just to let you know, home viewers, if you don't know, I know there's probably some people that don't know this, Nicky Pedersen moved, but he didn't touch the tape with his front wheel, so that means he's still in the race, and he hasn't been warned, previously been warned in this event, so he will get another chance. But if he moves again, the referee spots him, he will be out of the event.
Meanwhile, it's blowing a gale
out of the
there.
race, not the event.
I just say the event's being heat 20. I was say it's blowing a gale. It's blowing the 2-minute clock down. It's been an absolutely crazy day.
And Nicky's getting blown right there, but his little hair dryer right there keeping him cool. It is still warm here, isn't it? It's really warm.
So. But yeah, this situation in the series is absolutely crucial. Laguta with 34, Smektala with 29 and still got the last chance to come to try and make the final. Nicky Pedersen on 29. For Nicky Pedersen, the absolute ideal here is he wins this race and makes the final. and he also puts Laguta out of the meeting in the process.
Absolutely. If that combination comes to Nicky Pedersen, well, then he's earned it. He's come here and he's composed himself. He's riding really well. We've seen Nicky in the past make some big mistakes or try some desperate moves and sometimes get away with them, sometimes none. He's at box office when it comes to some of his actions, but tonight he's riding really stable around this Voyens track. 300 meters it is, and they measured that from 1 meter from the very inside line of this track.
And that's pretty much what you would call, I don't know, standard neutral track. There's no big surprises in it. It's not a...
And there's no big apexes on the corners here. It's really flowing all the way around. It's some of the riders have commented it's a bit slick to their likings. You can see from the surface the rocks right there on the ground. After they grade it, they bring that over on a hard surface. Makes it very difficult to get the bike to go forward at the best of times.
Restart of heat 20. Nicky Pedersen needs to be careful on the inside. Don't move again, Nicky. He is on a warning, and he's in red off the inside. Fredrik Jakobsen in blue off gate 2, Timo Lahti in white off gate 3, and Grigori Laguta there in yellow off the outside. Under some pressure here, had it all to lose really coming in, trying to build a lead to take to Horjov, and he's seen Nicky Pedersen really take it to him here tonight, and also Bartosz Smektala keeping himself in play. Tapes are blowing all over the place ahead of this restart of heat number 20.
Time's up too, boys. They can't be messing around.
Yeah, we need to get going with this one now. By Trev, and here we go with the restart. Away they go, and Pedersen has made it. Laguta's made a half-decent start, but he's going to find the way blocked there by Fredrik Jakobsen, and Laguta here in trouble at the back of heat 20, and there's no way through either. It's blocked out by Timo Lahti. It's Pedersen leading. Laguta is taking the big sweep round the outside. Can he make it around Jakobsen? Again, Jakobsen blocked him out, but Laguta's got a line going there, but he has to be careful because Timo Lahti might come through to third place, and Laguta so far can't quite get clear.
Wow, this is the corner. He's got a chance of the Jakobsen's red where he wants to be too. He wants to drive to keep pace with Nicky Pedersen. That's out front, but Laguta's throwing it in now. He's got one last chance up on this corner here. Can he do it the next time around?
This could be a massive turning point in this series. Nicky Pedersen race leading clear up front, and Laguta trapped in behind Fredrik Jakobsen with Timo Lahti in there on the inside, and this could go any one of 3 ways for second place, and Laguta is sent out wide off bend 2. Lahti comes charging back through again, and Laguta tries the big one round the outside on 3 and 4. Pedersen will win, and it's going to be second place for Fredrik Jakobsen, and it's third for Lahti. It's nothing for Laguta, and this series will turn around completely. Nicky Pedersen in play big time now, and the Danes know it. Laguta is out at this stage. Madsen, of course, unfortunately injured. Nicky Pedersen, who won this series in 2016, makes the final here, and he's taking massive points out of Laguta in the process. Pedersen wins heat 20, Jakobsen second, Lahti third. What a race.
I wonder if Jakobsen knew this combination too and thought, you know what, I'm going to help you out, Nicky Pedersen, because he made it so tough for Laguta. Laguta on the outside in the yellow helmet color throws it as deep as he can, has it cut back underneath Jakobsen down the back straightaway of the first lap. Jakobsen grabs a lot of grip going into turns 3, gets himself in position. Here's another view. Nicky in red. Makes no mistakes, gets himself in front, holds the inside line just as I anticipated he probably would be, as he's been doing all evening long, gets himself going, lots of speed down the back straightaway. Jakobsen bumps off the fence right there, that little bit of berm piled up on the dirt on the end, on the very bottom, launches him in position going into turn 3. Here's Laguta trying one more time to keep speed with these guys, but it was all about Timo Lahti throwing it in there as well. Laguta had to work super hard, couldn't get any extra grip, ended up finishing not even scoring a point.
Well, someone told us before the meeting that it's all here for Laguta to win and seal the trophy in Horjov in probably his first or second ride out there. That ain't going to happen now, because whatever happens, we're going to have a fight. Laguta and Pedersen are going to be very close indeed going to Horjov, and Smektala and even Japsen Jensen are there as well, and it's really tightened up even without Leon Madsen.
Yeah, that is just impressive right there. We were wondering what kind of meeting we're going to have without missing, Leon Madsen, the guy that's actually been dominating this so far. Yeah, there's been a lot of pressure put on him, but he's not in the event. We thought Laguta had this wrapped up, and he didn't do it.
So Pedersen and Mikkelsen go through to the final. Japsen Jensen, Smektala, Verena, and that point for Lahti also very important. He's on 9, also in the last chance, as Hülkenberg and Lebedev just miss out, but crucially, Grigori Laguta now out. So more drama to come, and the last chance is next here in Voyens.
4.5 years ago, I was invited.
Forge of Empires. Twórz swoje miasto od czasów epoki kamienia aż do przyszłości. Dostępne w App Store i pod adresem foe.tv. Forge of Empires. Graj teraz.
Szybka kawa na wynos? Moje pieniądze mam zawsze pod ręką. Płacę Visa.
Nigdy więcej szukania drobnych? Moje pieniądze zawsze są odliczone. Płacę Visa.
Zawsze w biegu? Moje pieniądze są ze mną online. Płacę Visa.
Uśmiechnięte dzieci? Moje pieniądze są wodoodporne. Płacę Visa.
Ty chcesz płacić nawet za najmniejsze zakupy w sposób, w jaki chcesz. My ci to ułatwiamy. Visa. Wszędzie tam, dokąd zmierzasz.
Dopóki serce dla drużyny bije nie tylko na trybunach, szczęśliwe koszulki mają moc wygrywania.
Rozpoczęło się finałowe spotkanie tego sezonu.
Nigdy nie odpuszczacie. Wspieracie jeden klub przez całe życie. Nieważne, czy gra o puchar, czy o honor. Wierzycie do ostatniej minuty. Dlatego wspieramy dla Was polski sport. STS. Wspieramy polski sport.
Nowa Viva, tylko teraz 99 groszy. Izabela Janachowska, najszczęśliwsza mama na świecie we wzruszającej rozmowie o synku. Dominika Tajner o rozstaniu z Michałem Wiśniewskim. Viva na lato, ekstra dodatek, aż 37 stron. Moda, pasje, podróże i niezwykła historia Krystyny Dębskiej-Olbrychskiej i Daniela Olbrychskiego. Z tym numerem również pierwsza część serii Czarny Kryminał autorstwa Marka Krajewskiego, Mok Pojedynek. Tom pierwszy tylko 9,99. Viva bez dodatku, tylko teraz 99 groszy.
Hej.
Nie widziałaś mojego portfela?
Nie.
Nie wiem, no nie potrafię go znaleźć.
Kupowałeś płytę, więc musiałeś go mieć.
Płaciłem telefonem.
Jechałeś autobusem, jak kupiłeś bilet?
W aplikacji.
A za zakupy czym płaciłeś?
Zegarkiem.
Musi gdzieś być. Bujasz.
No co ty, mówię prawdę.
W obłokach bujasz.
Możesz zapomnieć o portfelu. Otwórz konto jakie chcesz za 0 zł i płać jak chcesz. Telefonem lub zegarkiem. Santander Bank Polska. Bank. Jaki chcesz. Dlaczego Scopolan Compositum zwalcza nawet bardzo silny ból brzucha i skurcze? Ponieważ zawiera nie jedną, lecz 2 silne substancje aktywne. I kiedy jedna usuwa ból, to druga likwiduje skurcze. Gdy inne środki nie dają rady, wybierz Scopolan Compositum. Lek o zarejestrowanym działaniu na silny ból i skurcze. Przed użyciem zapoznaj się z treścią ulotki dołączonej do opakowania, bądź skonsultuj się z lekarzem lub farmaceutą, gdyż każdy lek niewłaściwie stosowany zagraża Twojemu życiu lub zdrowiu. Scopolan Compositum. Podwójna siła na silny ból brzucha. Teraz bez recepty.
We are back in Voyance, third round of Tauron Speedway Euro Championship. Niki Pedersen and Mikkel Mikkelsen have already guaranteed themselves a spot in the final heat of tonight, and 4 riders from 3rd to 6th place still have a chance to join them there. We are waiting for the race-off, and now time for the gate selection. We are starting with Mikkel Jepsen Jensen. Come over here. You have a wide choice. Which one for you?
I'll take the red one.
Red one for MJ. Thank you. Bartosz Smektała. Your choice?
Białe.
Third gate for Bartosz Smektała. Kacper Woryna.
Yes.
Present.
Blue.
Blue for Kacper. You can take the helmet, yes. And with no choice of Jakobsen?
Lahti.
I'm sorry, Timo Lahti, of course.
No worries.
So there's confirmation of the lineup for the last chance race-off here in Voyens. Michael Jepsen Jensen, Kasper Verina, Bartosz Smektala and Timo Lahti. The lineup, it's round 3 of the Speedway Euro Championship. It's a fascinating meeting and a fascinating series developing with Grigory Laguta, who had it all to win with the fact that Leon Madsen wasn't racing here and Laguta had the chance to extend or build a lead. Well, in fact, he's being reeled back in because he's not going to score any more points than 7 here tonight. Niki Pedersen is the one that's making big progress. And the likes of Smektala, Jepsen Jensen and Verina also still very much in play. So we need 2 more of these to go through to the final.
That's right. And this, unfortunately, but fortunately for everybody, we got the semi-final coming in the last chance race as it's labeled to come, and they've watered the track. It's the wind's up, so hopefully it will dry it up a little bit. The fans are kind of anticipating the rain could be coming because the clouds are being blown in, but the riders now got to contend with the fact that they've groomed the track, and a bit of water around it will definitely make a difference, and they're going to have to be wise of that.
So Grigory Laguta is stuck on 34 points in the series from 3 rounds. That's what he'll take with him to Horzów on the 28th of September. Nicky Pedersen, who'll be in tonight's final, is on 32, so could take the overall lead if he wins the meeting. And then 3 riders who are in this last chance race-off: Bartosz Smektala on 29, Michael Jepsen-Jensen 27, Kasper Vreen at 27. They need to make the final to add to their points tally, and Mikkel Mikkelsen in that final too is on 27 as well. As things have turned out for Leon Madsen, who's on 26, it's not actually turned out that badly for him. If he pulls off a miracle, and don't forget he scored an 18-point maximum in Horzów last year, so if he's fully fit for the final round and things go his way, we've seen it done before from 8 or 9 points behind. It's not totally out of the equation.
Yeah.
Unlikely, but he's still got to have a little chance.
Well, what were we saying before we came into this event? We were thinking there's no chance that Laguta was going to not most likely seal the championship up here, and that's all gone backwards. So anything can happen. This will be a very, very interesting last chance race. The riders now got to really go out there, and their eyes of Nicky Pedersen and Mikkelsen will be looking over the fence to see what gate position they might require to get to that first corner first and battle this 300-meter racetrack.
Don't forget, Jepsen-Jensen had the first pick. He took the inside gate. Bartosz Smektala in white was the rider who had the second pick. Kasper Vreen went for blue, and that left Timo Lahti with yellow. Lahti's got nothing to lose. He's not a regular in the series. He's ridden well tonight, but has been on the reserve list. But the other 3 are all very much fighting for first of all, top 5 to go through to next year. But the way it's opened up, if they could make the final, win the final, then they'll go to Horzów thinking they can win the whole thing. So a lot on this race, and the top 2 will join Nicky Pedersen and Mikkel Mikkelsen in tonight's meeting final in Voyant. Into line they come: Jepsen-Jensen, Verina, Smektala and Lahti. The last chance race-off in Voyant gets underway, and Jepsen-Jensen has made quite a good one, but coming across on the outside is Timo Lahti. In blue it's Verina and Jepsen-Jensen tussling away. Jepsen-Jensen moves back through on the inside. It's Jepsen-Jensen from Verina. Smektala has gone wide on turn 3 to avoid Timo Lahti, and it looks good here for Michael Jepsen-Jensen and for Kasper Verina. They've got 1 and 2 here at this stage. Timo Lahti in 3rd, and Smektala has missed out, but Verina lifts, so there could be a chance for Lahti still.
Yeah, well, this is where you got to stay right now. You got to protect it. Veroni, the Polish rider, wants to make sure he holds on to that. The Danish rider out in front, but Mikkel Jepsen is doing a good job. He made it from that inside gate, so that pick, that second pick, but Smektala didn't work out in his favor, did it?
Looks like we're going to have 3 Danish riders and a pole in the final, as Michael Jepsen-Jensen race leads from Kasper Verina, and that will be the gate pick order, and the Jepsen-Jensen will have the 3rd pick, and Verina will have to go with what he's given. It's going to be these 2 going through, unless there's a late dive from Timo Lahti on the final turn. It's Michael Jepsen-Jensen winning the last chance semi with Kasper Verina in 2nd place. Lahti in 3rd goes out. Disappointment for Bartosz Smektala as well, as he misses out too at that stage. It's Michael Jepsen-Jensen into a final for the first time in the Speedway Euro Championship, so well done to him for that. Now he'll go and try and win it, of course, and Kasper Verina is becoming a regular finalist now. We've seen him do it a couple of times already and make the podium as well. Jepsen-Jensen and Verina are the finalists to join Pedersen and Mikkelsen.
Very good result here, really, when it comes down to it. I was very surprised, especially looking at the fact that they've groomed the racetrack. What Bartosz Smektala was doing, picking gate number 3, he just got swallowed up in the white helmet color straight away out of the gate, and that's where you had to be. You had to be 1st or 2nd to make sure you get into that final. And Veroni, the pole, coming from gate number 2 with the 2-2-3 on his back right there, made no mistakes of making sure that he got over the top of Mikkel Jepsen-Jensen, and then at this point he knew he had to cover it because Jensen was getting himself into the turns 3 first, cut back to the inside did Veroni, and that was all she wrote after that. They just got to finish the 4 laps off and just hold on to their 1st and 2nd. But Timo Lahti put in a really good performance trying to get in there, but just let it go after 1 lap. You thought he could have probably needed a little bit more time, but there was none there.
So I mentioned a first final for Michael Jepsen-Jensen. Of course, he has had success at under 21 level in the past, and also a Grand Prix winner as well. So he knows what he's doing in the big events. Michael Jepsen-Jensen, he'll be in the final, as will Kasper Verina. gate picks for the final in Voyens coming shortly. Nicky Pedersen, by making the final, could go above Laguta in the overall standings. He's currently 2 points behind him after a great night's work. He's also tied with Emil Saifudinov now in the list of all-time finalists in the Speedway Euro Championship, because tonight is Nicky's 12th final. If he wins it, he'll be top of the winners list too. He's won 5 so far, same as Emil, so a 6th one will take him clear. Mikkel Mikkelsen, we've seen him finish 3rd at Gustro last year. This is the 3rd time he's appeared in a final. And Casper Verween has won a couple of 3rd places, Horzov last year and also Torren a couple of weeks ago. Jepsen Jensen, as we say, making his first appearance in a final. Let's find out where they're going to go from.
And we already know the final 4. We are waiting for the final hit off tonight of the SEC Speedway Euro Championship round 3. We are waiting for the gate selection, and no mistakes with the names at this time, promise. We are starting with Nicky Pedersen. Nicky, can I invite you over here? Which one for you? Let me guess.
Gate 1.
I knew that. Thank you. Mikkel Mikkelsen. Still the big choice for you.
Gate 3.
Gate 3. Good luck. Mikael Jepsen Jensen. Which one for you?
I'll do the blue one.
Gate 2 for MJ, and Kacper Vorina with no choice, but good luck anyway.
Green.
You know the colors, right?
Gate number 5.
Thank you.
So there are the gate picks for the final, and running in a similar way to the race off the last chance. And Mikkel Mikkelsen had to think about that one, because of course he saw what happened to Smektala, but he did go for gate 3 as the second pick.
You know, I think that Smektala probably thought that was the right move in that race off, but the fact that the conditions were a little bit wet from the grading, now that's kind of been brushed away, having that one race coming into this final now. And I think Mikkelsen was probably thinking that might be the recipe. If he's right up against Nicky Pedersen, and I watched their body as they were both picking and they were sitting next to each other, I think that's Pedersen and Mikkelsen, both determined to make sure that they win this final, and they don't want to give nothing away. So Mikkelsen just being that one space away from Pedersen might be his answer to success. But when you got Michael Jesper Jensen in between them, he's not a bad trapper either, and he is the fastest one around here with track record wise. I don't know the track is in those kind of conditions, but still those 3 Danes would be battling to get in front. Then you throw in a pole on the outside. Veroni, who knows what's going to happen in this.
Nicky Pedersen was 8 points behind Gregory Laguta coming into tonight's meeting. He's now just 2 behind, so if he wins the race, then he'll go in front in the standings as well. It is very much memories of his last win in this competition, his last meeting victory in Rybnik in 2016, when he came from nowhere to win the series. It's very much history repeating, but there is one round to come, of course.
Yeah, there's young Danish riders and there's older Danish riders in this race, and they're all here to prove a point. I tell you, Mikkelsen here, he is focused. We've seen what he did when he squeezed between 2 riders down that back straightaway. He is a very determined man right now to succeed. This guy right here has been thrown in there. He's actually doing so well as well. Mikkel Jesper Jensen, he can be a big spoiler. And then we got the pole right here that we're looking at. Casper Verona, he might have it a little bit difficult coming from that outside gate, but if these 3 Danes pile up into that first corner, move offline whatsoever, he could pick up the pieces and be the spoiler as well.
Nicky Pedersen, Michael Jepsen Jensen, Mikkel Mikkelsen and Casper Verina, the lineup for the grand final here in Voyens. What a return it's been for Major Speedway here at Voyens, and well, it could well be they get a Danish victory unless Verina can really spoil their party from the outside. He is the outsider, it's fair to say, but we've seen these finals won by the outsider before. My memory goes back to Christoph Kasperdak in Lublin, picking a gate, or having been left with a gate that nobody had won off all night in the final and going and winning it. Yes. But that's Christoph Kasperdak for you all the way. But as you say, yeah, if the 3 Danes, those 3 riders there, start having a ding-dong, then we'll see.
You know, just Nicky Pedersen in the past has been brutal in the first corners, but he's been riding that inside all night long here at Boyens. And let's just hope he doesn't change his tactics, because he needs to come out of that inside gate and stick to that inside line and do his own race the racetrack, not the riders. The old Nicky, I think, would beat up the riders and get him out of his way, and that's where Casper Verona will be looking for the opportunity. And so will maybe Mikael Mikkelsen, because he's coming from 3. His option will be to turn back if he doesn't get a clean start and get in front of Nicky Pedersen and the fellow Dane Mikkel Jesper Jensen as well.
That could really be the call. If Verina does not make an absolutely stunning start from the outside, that may well be the call. Make a date for the 28th of September, the final round in Horzów. It's going to go right down to the wire. We've certainly established that tonight. And also before that, make a date for the 14th of September, the second round of the World Under-21 Championship. We're back in Güstrow for that one. That'll be an interesting one with the likes of Smektala and Drabik and Chuganov all involved. And that was a good first meeting we had a month or so ago. And that's got 2 rounds to come. So we've still got some big meetings to come in September and early October.
Tasty stuff, but right now we're lining up for the grand final, and the boys are down to the last 50 seconds getting themselves ready to get out of this start. The starting marshal now is just kind of holding on to his little marker he's got to hold the tapes back. We're not seeing it, but we're looking down at it. The wind is still up right now, and the tapes are fluttering around. The riders have to contend with that as well. The whole object is to look to the left on the pole to get the quickest reaction if you're on gates 1 and 2, and if you're on 3 and 4, look to the right. That's the quickest way to go. Don't stare at the tapes, because the tapes lag, and these riders have been doing this long enough to know that, and they'll be concentrating on the fact that they want to be the first one to the first corner.
Nicky Pedersen off the inside gate. There is Michael Jepsen Jensen in blue, Mikael Mikkelsen in white, Casper Verina in yellow. Meeting victory on the line here in Boyens, and important series points as well as we take to the final round. There's Nicky Pedersen. Here we go with the grand final in Boyens. They go away. Pedersen off the inside, make quite a good one, but Mikael Mikkelsen made an even better one. Mikael Mikkelsen in white. Here goes Verina's burst around the outside. Don't think that's quite going to work, but Mikael Mikkelsen leads, and here goes Jepsen Jensen trying to fling one down the inside of Pedersen, and Pedersen maintains second place now. Verina is still going here. Verina has got round the outside of Pedersen, and can he now make it right round the outside? Mikael Mikkelsen still leads. Casper Verina in second, but Verina's going wider and wider, and now Mikkelsen across the corner. Verina turning back, and Verina, does he lead? No. Mikkelsen back round the outside. Next up, it's still Mikael Mikkelsen.
Unbelievable. 2.5 laps right now. We're coming into the finish of this third lap. 1 lap to go, and it's all racing.
Casper Verina giving it his all, and Nicky Pedersen could go to the back, having to force back the challenge of Michael Jepsen Jensen, but Mikael Mikkelsen still leads here from Casper Verina. Pedersen in third, his challenge is seen off for now, and Mikael Mikkelsen comes around turn 3 and 4. It will be a Danish win, and it will be Mikael Mikkelsen winning in Boyens. Verina in second, Pedersen third, Jepsen Jensen at the back, and Mikael Mikkelsen for the first time wins a round of the Speedway Euro Championship, and he does it on home soil in Boyens. What a night for Mikael Mikkelsen. Superb performance by him, and Grigory Laguta will still lead the series by a single point heading to Horzów at the end of September. What a night, what a meeting. Mikael Mikkelsen the winner.
24-year-old Dane Mikael Mikkelsen just made his stamp on and in front of the home crowd here in Denmark, showing that he can take the reins and move forward. Nicky Pedersen put in a superb night of racing. Give the guy some credit. He was on the inside. He wasn't brutal to anybody. He had no chance with Mikkelsen's start coming from gate 3 straight over the top. His fans, his mechanics, everybody is ecstatic for this guy's success tonight.
And in the series, the top 5 are covered by 5 points going to Horzów at the end of September. So it is perfectly set up. It's got memories of 3 years ago with so many people involved. Really, with the unfortunate injury to Leon Madsen, we wish him all the best. It was all set up for Grigory Laguta to make it right here tonight. It's not happened at all because of that final result with Laguta not involved. Mikael Mikkelsen the winner in Boyens. Casper Verina, what a ride by him in second place, and he's still a big player in this series. He was nowhere on turns 1 and 2, but he managed to get through into second place. Pedersen, after what's still a great night's work, comes through in third. Here's the action, Sam.
Wow, unbelievable this was here, but it was all at the start. Mickelson knew that this is the chance for he's going. He had the second choice of gate positions. He chose gate 3, and that right there just was a perfect combination for him. Here he goes, out of the start, in the white helmet color. Nicky Pedersen in the red helmet color on the inside. Stays down low, just as he should do, just to cover the fact that he had somebody up the inside of him, and he didn't want to give that one up right there. And this is the grand final. And on the outside was Casper Vriona, the pole that squeezed in the action right there as well, as he was building his momentum. But it was all about Mickelson coming from gate 3, storms himself into front in the first attempt of this final, the only attempt in the grand final, and he sealed the deal from here. He was under a bit of pressure through the race because he had a little bit on the high line there from Verona. It was going to come around the outside of him. He covered that well, moved up high, offline, left the door open for Nicky Pedersen if he could get close enough. No chance from there. So he then covered both the outside and the inside, and he even had time when it was all over with. Here he is, clamping it down to do a wheelie across the start-finish line for the checkered flag.
Thought for a moment that Verona was going to get past everyone, and Mickelson had to really ride his socks off there to make sure he maintained the advantage.
He knew he was coming, he knew what to do, and this guy sealed the deal.
Really impressive stuff from Mickelson. Mickelson, the winner of the third round of the Speedway Euro Championship 2019 on a great night here in Voyens. Well, the return of Top Speedway to Voyens has been a huge success here tonight. There were plenty of headaches over the weather forecast and some of the weather which came in during the day. Again, fair play to the organisers for covering the track last night. That has made such a difference, and then it's been able to cope with the showers that blew in during the day, and we've been rewarded with a terrific Speedway meeting here tonight and a series which is set up beautifully for the decider at the end of September. And many congratulations indeed to Mikkel Mickelson, the winner of the event. Casper Verona gets his best result also in the series with a second place. Nicky Pedersen denied after leading the meeting going into the final. He comes home in third, and Michael Jepsen Jensen's first final ends up with him being off the podium. And Laguta now leads the series with 34 points, Pedersen with 33, Mickelson with 30, Verona and Smektala both on 29, and they'll have a bit of support on their side in Poland in a couple of weeks' time as well. And Jepsen Jensen also on 27, so not too far adrift either.
You know, the body language these two came into when they were picking for gate position. I seen Nicky very stern, straight to the red, I want that. But Mikkel Mickelson came up, didn't give anything away, but he knew what the combination was. Gate 3, he pulled it off. That trophy right there, somebody's going to get their hands on it. One more round to go.
And that was a brave move because of what happened with Smektala in the last chance. And I think you called it with the track was different condition for the final, and Mickelson made a better start anyway, and that certainly helped him.
Yeah, well, you just got to read the conditions sometimes, and I just think Smektala there probably thought that might have been a good option, but for some reason they didn't take the equation that there was a lot of water on the track from the grading.
Well, Nicky Pedersen will get a great reception from the Voyens crowd. He's had good nights here in Grand Prix in the past. He still keeps on going at the age of 42. There you go, I've mentioned it now as well. But a series such as this is always better for him to be in it, and the fact that he's going to be fighting for victory really does mean that I'm sure the organisers will be happy that they have a fight on for the series in Horzów, and I'm sure that the tickets for that will be going very well indeed for the end of September. Pedersen picks up third place tonight and 14 points with it, and that's taken a massive chunk out of Laguta's lead from the first two rounds.
Some more silverware for the...
He's got a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does. I mean, Ole Olsen says he's gotten that little clip we've seen, over 300 of them. Heck, that's a heck of a lot of them. And Nicky's added to his.
Well, here's a rider who's rapidly making strides in the sport. Casper Verona is now a third final in 4 events that he's reached, and he's had 2 third places and now a second, so he's really managing to work his way through these meetings.
Yes, that's right. He's doing very well, and up against some tough, situations, and he keeps learning and keeps coming up with the goods.
And the trophies are getting bigger for Casper Verona. Second place here in Voyens, splitting the Danes in the grand final. 3 Danes were in the final. They couldn't get a 1-2-3 because of the efforts of Verona, but certainly no doubt that the man who will be celebrating the most tonight here in Voyens, scoring 15 points and putting himself back into contention for the series after a quiet first couple of rounds, Mikkel Mickelson winning here in Voyens with a fantastic performance. As I say, 15 points for him. He scored 7 and 8 from the first 2, so solid, but now banging in 15 when Madsen's not here and Leguta's hit trouble. Well, that's put Mikkelsen, who finished in the top 5 last year, right in the frame again this season.
Yeah, nice job. He was riding with a bit of injuries earlier.
First one particularly, yes.
Yeah, so, every time I've spoken to a super nice guy as well, you can approach him and have a good conversation with him. And he said to me, yeah, I'm doing okay, but, I've been riding with injury, but not flaunting the fact that he was riding with injury. He's come out
Still
here.
picked up a few points whilst he was.
Exactly. So fit and well, and he takes the big prize.
Mikkel Mikkelsen certainly enjoying the moment. We'll have the national anthem very shortly of Denmark here in Voyens. Top 3 all on the podium together at this stage, and they are all contenders for the series title. They are all queuing up behind Grigor Leguta. Nicky Pedersen could have taken the lead tonight, incredibly. Didn't quite manage that, but it's still all to ride for in the final round as we get set for the national anthem of Denmark.
The Danish national anthem.
Danish flag flying high in Voyens. Mikkel Mikkelsen, the meeting winner, and within 4 points of the series lead with his success tonight. Nicky Pedersen and Kasper Verina joining him on the rostrum. Verina second, Pedersen third, and they are both also chasing Leguta, as is Bartosz Schmechtala in the series overall. But this moment is for the top 3 on the night as the streamers and the fireworks go off, and it will be celebrations for Mikkelsen, Verina and Pedersen. Great night here in Voyens, some great entertainment, and really the return of Speedway to this venue has been a big success, and true credit to the efforts that have been put in by the organisers of the series and also the owners of the stadium, all the work of Jakob Olsen and his team. They have produced some great racing here, good racetrack in tough weather conditions with the wind and the rain flying around all day.
All the gold now is on turns 2. All the
that
fans
tells you
are
how windy it is.
Yeah, these guys well deserved. I tell you what, the fans, fair play to them. I guess with all that gold confetti going over to the fans, they deserve an applause.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, the weather's. I wouldn't expect many people to come in other countries as much as they've come here today.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. Certainly in midweek, the forecast for today was horrific. That rain did pass through overnight, and we're going to have more showers today. It's been so windy. I know it's not been great back in the UK either today, by all accounts. But Voyens, for people that have not been here for a while, or not seen it for a while, it's still exposed out on that back straight in turns 1 and 2. It's still grass banking. Yep. They've done a lot of work on the stadium, but it is still grass banking out there. And they've stood out there all night in all sorts. Fortunately, they've not got wet, but it's been very windy, and they have had some good racing to enjoy as well. So top 3 back on the podium for the obligatory now selfie that tends to follow these events around, and it will be it's certainly Mikkel Mikkelsen's night, and also good points for Kasper Verina and Nicky Pedersen. There's how it stands, and what about this going to the final round? Leguta 34, Pedersen 33, Mikkelsen 30, Verina 29, Schmechtala 29, Jepsen Jensen 27, Madsen 26. Who's going to win the championship, Sam?
Yeah, your call's as good as mine. I don't know really, to be fair, but they'll be battling for it. We know that Leon Madsen will be looking to score as many points as possible whenever he gets to that venue that he did so well last year, the final one. To gain 8 points and to win overall will be his objective.
So a great night for Mikkel Mikkelsen, the winner here in Voyens. Don't forget, under 21s in Gustro on the 14th of September, and the decider in Chorzów on the 28th of September. See you then.
See ya.